G'day, how are you now? Welcome to What's Left of Us, the D&D podcast, live play, whatever you're on it. How you doing there, bud?
Knows now?
I don't know.
I can't.
Oh, you know what they say? Sweet is so down.
It fell apart so fast, Zoe.
Zoe, come on. Zoe, come on now. You're being awful weak about this. You were the one who said you needed some southern assistance here. You gotta, we're doing a bit. We live for the
Do the voice. Do the
No,
voice.
because see, the problem is that I'm not even from so the only people in West Virginia who have accents, really like
West
actual strong
Virginia.
accents, are the ones from like the southern part of the state. I am from the northern part of the state. We have a teeny tiny little baby northern panhandle. That's where I'm from.
Uh-huh.
And people there have like essentially no accent. That sort of like that part
So
of
you're
the country.
saying that you're better than us is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Zoe, I have
think
no
that
idea
needed
what
to
you
be
mean about
said.
having no accent at all.
So you're some sort of Yankee Doodle dandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Emphasis
Yeah.
on the dandy.
Folks,
We do a show here.
welcome to our very fun accented cold open where none of us hit our natural accents. And there's a
please.
cat, and then Milo is here. So
Yeah, sorry, folks.
yeah.
I'm in my new house that I just moved into like 2 days ago. I don't have Wi-Fi, so I'm coming to you guys live from my phone, which does not have as good sound canceling. So you will occasionally hear cats.
There's cats. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Now
I said,
you know she's been
Bro.
hiding the cats from you this whole time.
that's true. She's been hiding cats this entire time. They could have had character sheets at this table, and
You don't
No.
want Milo to be at this table. She's gonna knock
Star is
everybody
gatekeeping.
over.
I'm pretty.
I
Yeah,
know.
you're gatekeeping from these cats.
Milo, do you have anything you want to say to the audience?
Look,
It's
name
very,
another
very
D&D
tiny
live
about it.
play that has cats. You can't.
you can't. Also, this is
That's what makes us
probably our
better.
best cold open we've ever done. This is
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
It's not our worst. I will say we've done worse.
God damn. Coming for me. Okay.
Too soon. It was just last month. Jeez.
Welcome everybody to What's Left of Us, the D&D actual play podcast, where a bunch of us get together and we play ourselves some Dungeons and Dragons.
What the fuck are you talking about? I'm sorry. No, we don't.
We don't.
We watched
No.
Forever Night here.
We
What?
no
You're
no.
right.
We play a different game. You
Oh,
might
Basements
recall.
and Big Lizards.
The
Yeah.
Basements and Big
Yeah.
Lizards.
Basements and Big
Oh, yes.
Lizards. Yeah.
Am I the only one who
Hello?
cares about the fucking lore?
That's there's so much
Are,
lore.
are, like,
You're
are,
gonna start
what's
calling
next?
it a
Are we going to be
train.
riding on trains? What the fuck,
What the
guys?
fuck is a train?
Can we get this
Fuck
shit
is
together,
a
please?
train?
We've been doing this for like 2
It's true.
years.
We got to have
Great.
professionalism. We're one of the longest running APs in history. We need to make sure this is consecutive and long running.
I'm taking
Other
AP
You're-
systems,
Dungeoneering,
you
and
will-
I'm feeling like I'm not getting a lot out of it.
right?
You will alienate our core fan base if you continue with these
It
slip
is.
ups.
It is. You're right. You're absolutely correct. It's very important. Other APs, after 2 years, their characters are past level 6. Or-
and
Or-
new.
and or move on to new campaign. Not us. You get long running slow burns with us.
The other APs know what edition they're playing, and they're not just playing like a weird combination of 2 different editions.
A weird mishmash of rule of cool and a little bit of
Yeah,
3.5,
I think
third
part
and
of that is
5e.
the fault of the wizards.
Oh goodness. What
I do
part
think
of the
it not-
introduction are we in?
Part of
What
that
is-
is due to the wizards.
We're in the part where we
who are
talk
we,
about
really?
Wizards of the Coast.
I guess so. We're coming for their asses. Don't worry. We're different.
And
We're
the
built
rest of
different.
them.
Yeah, and the rest of them.
Mhm.
Folks, we play a little RPG here. We make the goof 'em ups, and sometimes we do the big emotional payoffs. Sometimes. However, it should be noted that for RPGs, everyone at the table here is consented to the things going on. However, and or if they haven't, they have a way of immediately telling me otherwise. However, you folks watching don't do that. So if you need, if you see something that is disturbing to you and you would like to not see it anymore, please feel free to take care of yourselves, duck out of the stream for a little bit, and come back whenever you feel comfortable. The VODs for this particular show are available immediately after the show is finished. And speaking of after the show is finished, stick around, because if you have any questions, we do a little bit of couch session to answer your burning questions live on air, as it were. I believe, unfortunately, we're not going to have a Ron for that today because poor Ronald is heading out to do things that are not
I get to go play with chemicals.
play with chemicals. So watch out. Like,
Seriously,
Technically, anything you
EPA,
play with is
look out.
chemicals.
EPA,
If you still
please.
exist.
Oh, Jesus. Very much. Speaking of, for you folks watching along in chat, you will notice Vernon's my bio. That's Sam, and Slyfox, if she is around. These two are our mods. They are both creators in their own right, incidentally, which you should absolutely check out their stuff. Hold on. Hopefully that does something. Oh my God. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I
Jay,
definitely-
Charlotte tech support cannot be there today. Don't fuck it up.
No, I just see I didn't turn on the bot
Oh my god.
because I forgot. It's okay. It's coming online now.
We're professionals.
Anyways, both of our mods keep our streams safe. So if you have any particular questions that you don't need to hold off until later, you can of course ask them, especially if it's about what is going on right now. And they'll try to answer them. However, if you're also not being particularly nice, both of these mods are empowered with the sacred ability to destroy you digitally. So, you know. There it is. And there we go. Bingo. That's their stuff. Yeah, please make sure. I gotta fix that. Please make sure to check out our mods and the stuff that they do. They're all very good. They're great. They're wonderful. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. But we can probably start our recap now. I think so. Yeah. 10 minutes into the
I
stream.
think so. Yeah.
We did great. Honestly, this is probably around the same time as our usual code opens. So
That's normally how those work. So, yeah.
yeah.
At least we didn't have an ad read.
That reminds me, today's game is brought to you by Rathgrithr and Vernon.
Perfect segue.
Do you folks have a problem with online safety? Well, Incogni,
Let's
Hey,
talk
do you
about
have-
the Honey app.
Do you have mental health problems but don't want to fix them? Go to betterhelp.com.
BetterHelp.com.
Do you need to get stuff moved into your house and you don't care who the fuck does it? Call the movers that I had a few days ago because holy shit.
They have
There's a-
25 years of experience.
Very funny. There's lots of stuff going on. Listen, okay, so we did a goof that failed badly at the beginning. I did all of my regular prep and discussion at the beginning of the game about mods and about things that happen afterwards and all that other stuff. In between getting more goofs in. And then we goofed more about the sponsors who will absolutely never touch us anymore if they ever were. NordVPN, I'm hanging my hat on you. Don't
I
get a
got
VPN.
to tell you, if you think you have precluded sponsors,
Mm.
they don't care what you say.
I literally
yes.
made a video about how Grammarly sucks, and Grammarly still wants to sponsor me. So
Hell yeah.
They want you so bad it makes them look stupid.
It's good. Hey, listen. If there's any thirsty sponsors out there, I will absolutely make fun of you the entire time I'm doing an ad read.
Look here,
Negging
AG1.
only
I
works on
will.
sponsors.
Look here, AG1. I will chug a glass like Cody Johnston. Okay, I will do it on camera
I
for
will
the
have a
amusement
Cody
of 40
Johnston
people.
costume. I will have a knockoff Warmbow, and it will be terrible, and I will get sued, which will cost more than what the ad read will get me. It'll be
We're
great.
gonna call it
guys.
Kermery Bow.
Hey guys, you know what bit that I love to do instead of mocking sponsors? I love the bit where I play a game with my friends.
Oh, I mean that.
Hmm.
That seems kind of
We
niche to
should,
me,
we should
but
play Dungeons and Dragons.
That's a
Basements
weird-
and Big Lizards now.
That's a weird bit. I don't know if that'll fly here.
Yeah, I'm
honestly.
kind of addicted to the bit though, so I
Well-
would like to play.
Maybe if someone could give me an example of what that might look like what we did last
Oh
month.
yeah. Does
Yeah,
anyone have
yeah,
like a
that would be
recap?
good.
Does anyone have maybe a notebook?
It's your fucking job, Jay.
I have one.
Oh my God, what's
somewhere.
with you today, man? You don't know what game we're playing? You don't have a recap ready? What?
This is an elaborate test. You see, I want to see if you guys know what happened last time.
I
We
do,
found
but
a-
I'd rather
we
hear
found
you
a
describe.
series of test tube children.
Yes, I
Uh-huh.
found out I have a whole bunch of siblings that are also maybe me. So I don't know how that works. Are they just twins? Who could say?
Who could say?
So we started with
Mhm.
Vernon and Rathgrithr stuff, right?
We did.
Is that the correct
There
month?
was, there was
Okay.
a very
Yes.
spoopy like Vernon and Rathgrithr bit with a
The thing
mysterious
that-
new entity.
The note that my
Uh-huh.
eyes keep being drawn toward is 15 sets of wings,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
a
Wait, what's that?
nightmare,
that's probably nothing.
serpentine feathered body, rows of
Oh,
arms,
yeah.
darkness herself.
My ears are burning.
So yeah, they got like schlorped into a spooky place, and then they got
Huh.
chased out by a nightmare. And then they tumbled into the laboratory where Tim and Emery had just had a very normal time.
Mhm.
And we continued to have a normal time with
Yeah.
no traumatic memories.
None.
What else?
Some kind of life form piggybacked on us at the end, and
right.
we have unleashed some sort of
Yes.
new eldritch horror upon this earth.
Well, that's right.
That'll
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah.
And we decided that we're gonna let the babies bake a little bit longer.
Mhm.
Uh
And you were gonna leave Henry with the automatons to watch over the babies that are baking, the little sentient meatballs. Yeah.
which
Incidentally, they will also bake
Are
cookies.
we okay? Because are we leaving Henry there? Because I thought the plan was to take Henry back to the Emery's family manor,
Was he?
and then they
I've-
can take. Because I don't want to. Henry was in one of those fucking
let
labs.
Henry choose his own fate.
I feel like we were still arguing about it when
That's true.
we ended the
Yes.
session.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jesus,
I feel
Sam.
like we should give
big
Henry some
toddler on
options before. We should give Henry some options before we skedaddle to go do whatever the hell we're doing next.
It's
Yes.
true. Well, then that sounds like we're roughly where we are. Let's go to the map. Uh-huh. Welcome to the Butterball Estate. Yes, indeed. So here you folks are. You kind of gathered sort of above air. I imagined all of you needed some air after all of that that stuff, which of course was in no way heavy. There was in no way any implications about the deep questions about what makes a sentient creature or when something becomes that way, or the various rights of said unsentient creatures. And so now that you're above ground and you're able to have some air to think about those things a little more, you folks also get to think about things. Also, yes, I forgot to mention her grandmother called now that they were closer.
Oh, yeah.
The whole party was closer, and she revealed she had been
Yes.
trying to get in touch with you, and you had not been answering because you were in various states of either being or on different planes of existence, and therefore she hasn't been able to contact you. You left Loudwater, and you're very close
Look,
to Loudwater
with
right
how
now,
much
so-
money,
Yeah.
with how much money I'm bringing into the children, you would think that she could afford the unlimited plan. But unfortunately,
Can't do it. Can't do it. So yeah, so there's that too. So you folks could go to Loudwater and see the grandmother. She's being very insistent that Vernon goes and sees. However, that doesn't it doesn't mean you guys have to.
And is that something? Did Vernon? Was it just like in his head, and then did he tell us about it, or was it something that we all heard?
So far,
or like what
this is just something that was in Vernon's head. Yeah.
And did Vernon?
I think I might have started talking to the sky like while I was close to you people. Like I don't know.
normal, which is normal. It is fine.
If it were anyone else, we
I-
would all question it, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
with
that's
Vernon, it's
true.
just
I
like,
did hit my head very hard.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I don't think he would have said anything necessarily like immediately after that, but he would probably walk up to the group and be like, "Hey guys, my grandma called.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to go back to Loudwater for a little bit. She seemed none too pleased by my being out of range for so long."
Wait, did she just yell very loudly? How were you?
You know, I don't actually know exactly how it happened, but I heard her voice in my head, and she said, "Vernon, you have to come back to Loudwater. You've been a very naughty boy," or something to that effect. And yes, so now I have to go and see her about a horse or something like that. If you all would like to come with me, you're more than welcome. I mean, she's as far as I remember, she's pretty all right, I guess.
Pretty all right. Yeah.
How far away is Loudwater from here?
Loudwater is probably about a day's walk from here. When you left this tower to go to Loudwater with the ticket, it
Mhm.
took you basically the day to get there.
Okay.
Uh-oh. The star is gone.
We have lost a star.
Goodness.
Yeah, I mean we can go with you. We need to figure out sort of what's going on with like Henry and the little test Tims. No, I'll workshop it.
They're in the Tim tubes.
Tim tubes,
Yes,
that's much
yes,
better.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't be offended if you stayed behind, but what were you
let's
saying,
ask
Master?
Henry first, and then see where we're at.
Okay.
That's a swell idea, yes. Henry, what do you think?
Well, he's back inside.
I mean, you could
See, I was talking. I thought he was right in front of me this whole time
No,
because I can't
that's
see
me.
very well.
That's me. Actually.
Oh,
I know you look really similar, but
I mean, we've been traveling together for like a while now, but it's okay. You know,
I thought it was
my
rather
parents
strange that you talked about yourself in the third
didn't
person.
remember
Henry.
my name, so it's fine.
it's still Henry. Oh.
Did I mention I hit my head not very long ago?
You lost a hand. It tends to do
Oh
something to
yes, and I
somebody.
lost my hand. Did you see that? Did you see that I lost my hand?
Right,
I think it's
right
baking
now
in your
that hand
dog.
is growing a mushroom.
Yeah, I
Every
was
time you
gonna
open
say,
up the
yeah,
side
we
of,
knew.
Yeah. Every time you open the side of Spark, it's like, be not afraid.
Yes, that's the one.
Hey Henry,
Hmm.
what do you want to do? Because we're gonna go to Loudwater, and you can come with us, or you can stay here with the Wobbles and Woobles. Weebles and Woobles, whatever their names are. You know their names.
I mean, they seem to be nice, and like I know Mom and Dad's place, sort of. Like we had a lab sort of like this at my place, and I just kind of I don't know. It's scary. You guys do scary stuff. I walked 2 feet out of my door and was immediately brought into another plane of existence where I was held captive until we got out. And then we went into this place and there's a bunch of scary test tubes. Well, there's also 2 robots that made cookies. So I think I might stick with the robots that made cookies.
Okay. Well, if you guys are, if you're staying here, then can you make sure to keep an eye on the babies and make sure nothing happens?
The twin tams?
Yeah, those ones. That's the ones.
I mean, it looks like there's a couple of pieces of equipment down there that aren't working right now either. I could probably try to get them up and running.
Do you know how to do that?
I'm a butterball. Of course I know how to do that.
Yeah, but you also don't really know what words mean. So
That's-
like,
Well, I'm a butterball. That's the other side of being a butterball.
I know what words mean.
Do you?
You didn't know
Most
what
of
taxes
them-
were when we met.
That is
What's the
different.
taxes?
Yeah,
Taxes
listen,
are a
our
rip,
parents
let me
were
tell
not.
you.
They didn't really value financial literacy, so
Did
you
hear
know it's
Dad
fine.
yelling about something about taxation is theft or something like that?
Oh no.
The gnomish libertarians arrive.
I mean, if it's gonna be anybody, it's gonna be her parents.
True.
So how long does the baby need to bake? Do we know?
Who could say? Your best guess was it was probably a couple of months now that the stasis had been turned off.
Okay. Well, so you do need to keep an eye out for when when the one is all done, because then I want to make sure that they don't grow up all like alone and stuff. And so just like let me know.
Oh, you mean like we did?
Yes. I don't know, it just makes me really sad to think about anybody else having to grow up the way that we did, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. But
You
no, I'll
guess
be
so.
there. Well, I was fine, I think.
I think that if you have some time either talking to a licensed therapist or like just like some friends that can help you sort of like unpack the emotional baggage, I think that you'll realize that like we're kind of fucked up, but like, you know, it's fine.
I don't know that the friend that I made out of garbage at my last place would agree with you.
Well, I mean, the squirrels didn't agree with me either. You need to find like real like people friends.
Are squirrels not people friends enough? I
No,
hear
like
druids
more.
can talk to squirrels.
I mean, I can talk to squirrels too. They just don't really talk back.
Oh.
Are you sure? Because your dog talks back.
Well, my dog is a god, so like that's kind of a unique case. Anyway, just let me know. Have Weebles and Woobles call me. Do like sending or something to let me know when the little twin tam is ready and I can come see them because I want to see them when they're ready. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Should I let you know when we find the right cookie recipe? Because so far, I honestly think they're like we're missing something, like maybe eggs. Right now, it feels like I'm just eating raw flour, and I don't know if that's good.
Seemed fine to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
we're going to visit my grandma. I'm sure I could get you a recipe.
Oh, that's genius. Yeah, we can definitely like swap recipe concepts back and forth and figure it out.
That's cool. Some of your friends have grandma.
I mean, presumably we have a grandma.
Do we? Mom and Dad never talked about the rest of the family.
I think the rest of the family maybe didn't like them very much.
But they're so smart.
Yeah.
Isn't that the only basis for liking someone?
You know, if I've learned anything, and I've learned a lot of things, and so if I've learned anything, it's that sometimes being smart is not all that you need to be cool. And being cool is very important. That's something that I've learned on the road. Yeah, it's like super important to be cool.
Well, then I'm going to form the entire basis of the rest of my personality around trying to be cool.
Oh no! I've ruined the child. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that at all.
Okay.
Anyway, you be cool and take care of my twin tam baby, and I'll be back.
Take it sleazy. And then he like walks.
No, I think that the one that you would want
building.
You could also use smell you later.
That's a good one. Because you guys need a
Thank
bath.
you. Oh yes, I suppose it has been a while since I bathed.
Does your grandma have a bathtub?
I don't remember.
Well, how does she smell?
Look at grandma.
I assume with her
Probably
nose.
with your nose.
Wow.
Well, if you all want to go along with me to see my grandmother, we can definitely make that happen.
It was 50-50 until the topic of cookies was brought up, and
well,
now
no,
I'm
I've never
definitely
seen
interested.
her. If to full disclosure, I've never seen her make cookies before, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't. She's a grandmother after all. She has to have some recipes, right?
Yeah, grandmas have to make cookies. It's like legally
It's
binding.
it's yes, you're right. I think that's written somewhere in the code. I don't know what code, but the code.
Grandma code.
Yes.
But grandma's got to have cookies.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess if that's what we're doing, then it's fine. But I need to call my uncle and sister first to make sure that they're good because we just kind of disappeared.
Oh yeah, that is probably a good idea.
You did send them
Can I borrow
that
Sparks
message when you
again?
got back. Yeah.
Yeah, can I borrow Sparks again? Do a set like a dog call.
Sure.
Dog call.
Yeah.
He
So
just
I
has
guess
the
if we're walking
handset on his
outside, I'll
back.
just like hang back a little. I'll just hang back behind the others with Sparks and just like call the fam, update them on what the situation is.
Yeah. Just an absurdly large aerial just sprouts out of the top of Sparks' head and like flops around for a second, and then his mouth opens way too wide, and there's a speaker in there.
Oh, that didn't happen last time.
He's always evolving and learning.
My effective range has been increased.
Okay. I didn't think there was one of those with ascending spell, but sure. Can you call my uncle, I guess?
Confirmed. Calling my uncle.
All right.
It takes a second or two, but yeah, when it connects, you definitely hear the voice of your Uncle Emery. Spark isn't.
Her
I
uncle's
was
name
worried
is
you were
Emery.
just gonna call an uncle.
Wow. Yeah. Sparks just
They're
called
like
a
some-
random uncle that he enjoys.
Yeah. How many
Welcome to
uncles
the
does
Uncle
Sparks have?
Hotline.
Uncle Ulrich, hey, that you?
Yes. Do you know that this whatever you're using is well, there's like waiting music involved, and it asks me if I wish to accept a collect call, but I don't understand what it means.
Sparks, you don't have. Since when are you charging for this?
I charge 1/75th of a soul every time.
Wait, hold on, what? You couldn't have just cast sending? You did it normally last time.
It's called a joke. I'm learning.
Oh, great.
Sparks, that's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Sparks ate
You're
a
so
joke book at some
funny.
point while he was in that tower.
He consumed it.
He did.
He is now
ate it to
addicted
gain
to
his
the joke.
power.
Okay, well, yeah, so just kind of wanted to update you on the situation. And to be clear, I don't know if you guys noticed, my call dropped for like a minute and a
We
half
did.
in the middle of. Okay, yeah, so I missed exactly what we said to Henry. But I mean, I assume the plan is we're going to from here to Loudwater to talk to Vernon's grandma because she's being very belligerent for some reason.
Yes.
He's like,
Henry is
so
staying here to make cookies and watch the twin Tams bake.
yeah, I'll just kind of like update Ulrich on everything and just be like, I mean, I was hoping we could come back once we were done with the whole lab thing, but
Yeah.
I mean, are you guys gonna be okay for probably a couple more days?
We will, but we'll likely have to move houses again before too long.
Not good to stay in one place too long.
We'll have to keep moving, yes. I do have contacts with a wizard who has a more mobile home setup we could use.
That'd be good. Just let me know before you move, and I can make sure that you guys get to wherever you're going safe. That would
Well,
make me feel
we're
better.
already going to be on the move. I think by the next time you contact us, we're going to be in Yartar.
How far is that from where they are right now?
Yartar is probably a good week and a half to 2 weeks walk because you have to go around the Desserin Hills to get there. Um, so you've it goes north and then a little bit towards the west.
Woof.
Yartar is just to the east of Tribor, if you know where that is.
I don't have the map in front of me, but I have a general idea.
Mhm.
All right. Well, you two take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid.
Oh, you know me.
Is Nina there?
Yes. She said she was going to bed, but if I recall, she enjoys staying up and reading.
Yeah, I'm worried about her, I don't want her to think that I abandoned her again.
No, she's been markedly more happy the last couple of days. She definitely took to you faster than I did.
That's good. I mean, that may have come out wrong. I understand why you were suspicious. Like, it's a weird situation.
It is a weird situation.
Weirder now, but you'll see next time I see you.
Wait, what does that mean?
Don't worry about it. Over the table, she's talking about the wings.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
a new thing.
But he doesn't know that.
No, I know, and if he pushes, she'll tell him. But I'm just like, yeah.
Oh, all right. I'm still looking into how it happened in general, so.
Yeah, well, maybe you can find something where I can. It's not like I have many sources these days.
No,
Although,
my contacts have been inconclusive.
I told you how, based on some of the memories I've gotten back over the course of this, we're pretty sure the body I'm in now belongs to somebody else first.
That is generally how it works. Do you know who?
Yeah, they weren't a tiefling.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right. I have other contacts for that. I can get back to you.
Yeah, maybe broaden that search radius there, because could I remember like some of the names, right, from when we had like that weird. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and let him know like all the names that I heard.
Sure.
Star can't remember them off the top of her head, but Emery would remember.
Yes. Well, you killed Thargus, and you know you're in the body of somebody called Ontalax.
Yes.
The devil formerly known as Ontalax.
Yeah. And then that devil had a brother, question mark?
Yeah.
And I know his name, right?
Yes. I forget his name though, but it's very similar to Ontalax.
Yeah. So
I don't think I'm weird enough to name him Parallax, although that is very funny.
No, it wasn't that. I remember I had to go digging for it last time it came up. But
yeah, I'll figure it out.
I'll just say that I passed those names along to Ulrich, and we can figure some things out from there.
Sure.
Parallax is a yellow space bug that is a villain of the Green Lanterns.
Yeah, absolutely. Big Green Lantern buff. Yeah, you managed to contact your uncle. You give him all this information. He has new things to look into.
Yep.
And it is, as is shown here, about nighttime. So you folks can walk if you want to, start walking to Loudwater. Or you can take the night here and move on in the morning if you wish.
I don't know. If I want to walk through Spooky Fey Woods that just have random portals open.
You're outside of the woods here. You're like on the very edge of it. So as you start walking towards Loudwater, you'll be walking like in the foothills. It is, however, close enough to the high forest.
I can't remember if we got a long rest after the circus, because if we didn't, then I'm still very fucked up.
Yeah, you did not.
Okay, then I think taking a long rest would be good.
Yes.
I can't imagine that traveling through the spooky woods at night would be a good idea for anybody.
Spooky wood. All right. You folks can spend time in the laboratory. There is a place to sleep there because your parents, of course, did often sleep in the lab, Tim. So if you folks want to stay there, that's fine. Woobles and Wobbles try to make you guys dinner. Some sort of carbon reduction. I'm not sure what it was to begin with. It may have been some sort of soup that they burned. Who could say?
Great. Hey, Dungeon Master.
Yes.
Okay, so you said there was a place to sleep.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and tell you what I'm angling for.
Mhm.
Before we go to sleep, I think that Emery would find a spot that's kind of away from everyone else, and she wants to try and use that fucked up crystal again.
Oh, does she?
Because the last time she just randomly looked into it, she got a
Mhm.
bunch of secrets, and I think she has a lot of questions about just things in the universe right now. And
Okay.
she knows that everyone else would be very pissed at her for doing this, so she's going to do it when they're not around.
Well, then first give me a stealth check.
Okay, I have my actual dice, and they're
You do.
a box. God.
I have horrible news for you. It'll be a disadvantage.
Oh, good. Well, let me dig out my d20s. Okay, I've got my awkward shoebox of dice that I'm using as a dice tray.
Yeah. Moving is fun, folks.
Oh! No, because my bad luck streak that has lasted this entire week, it do continue because that is a natural one with disadvantage.
I think you everyone has started eating and getting ready to bed down, and you're like, I'm gonna go to the washroom. But instead of saying all of that, you go, I'm gonna go to that, and you stand up and you accidentally stand up on part of your own clothing, and you trip yourself and you fall over, and then the crystal rolls out of your hand that you've been trying to secretly hide it in, and it just kind of rolls right into the middle of everybody who's trying to get ready for bed.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh. What?
Shit, and I'm gonna grab whatever scarf or something I had it wrapped in and just grab it and wrap it back up.
Like the Palantir.
You gotta be more careful with that.
Yeah, no, I know. Just dust myself off, try to be so casual.
Emery, I have a very important question to ask you right now. Are you finished with your soup?
Yeah.
Do you mind? Oh, sick. Thanks.
Yeah, go. Sure. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom now. It's this way, right? And she's already walking away. Scoot, scoot, scoot.
Tim is gonna chase after her.
Are you gonna do it stealthily, or are you just gonna go after her?
No, yeah, just chase after her.
Okay.
Emery!
Oh, I know where the bathroom is. You don't have to follow me.
You know I can see you holding that crystal, right?
Yeah, just because it fell out of my bag. I'm gonna put it. I'm holding it, and I'm gonna put it back in a sec.
You don't have to put it back in the bathroom. I don't know why that's the choice that you're
no,
making.
I'm already holding it, and I'm walking away, and I'll put it back in my bag when I get back. It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
I think that is not a good idea, actually.
I'm not gonna piss on it. What do you think?
No, I think that you. What is it that you're gonna do with it? What is your plan here? Because I know that you're not gonna just put it in your bag.
Well, it doesn't fit in my pocket.
Emery.
What?
What are you gonna do with it?
Fine. And she's gonna walk over to where her bag is, I guess strung up on a table, and she'll put the crystal in her bag, and then she's like, okay, there, are you happy? And she'll shrug really big, just do the what do you want from me? And she'll shrug really big. She's gonna walk to the bathroom without the crystal and sit in there for a few minutes and pretend to piss. She's gonna come back and be really pissed.
I mean, if you want, I am gonna look at my If you want, I can try and like figure out what the deal with this crystal is. I have spells that I can use. If you want answers, you just have to ask. You don't have to try and figure it out by yourself.
It's not. I don't. Okay, I guess I do have questions about it, like what the fuck it is and where it came from and why it was inside me. But I think that
Okay.
kind of takes a back seat to questions for it, I guess.
What does that mean?
Right after it came out and we were just all kind of standing around and talking, I don't even think I did anything. I think I just looked at it and I saw my mom and they always told us that she just got sick and passed away, but apparently there was some kind of shit wrapped up in this. Hi, Milo. The random lab cat is here.
It's either Weebles or Woobles trying to make your eating experience more pleasurable.
Just by jumping up on the table. And
The giant automaton.
yeah. I guess they lied to me about that too. And now I've just got all kinds of questions. And if this thing can show me shit that I need answers for, then it seems like a resource, right? I know it's fucking dangerous, and I'm not going to try and shove it back into me or anything, but...
No, I actually think I think that you're right. If you want to figure this out, and this crystal is the way to do that, can I, just real quick, can I do some magic and check it out a little bit to make sure that it's not gonna just like sort of spontaneously like jump back into you?
If you can do anything like... I'm scared to touch it with my bare hands, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, let me check it out, and then I think you're right. It's a tool that we should figure out how to use.
I don't like that little nod that Jay just gave.
It's fine. It'll be
That was a
fine.
very suspicious nod
I would
of
like
somebody
to.
who is up to something.
Oh,
like-
no, don't worry, Star. It's way too early. If the stream were about to end, then we could worry about it being like
Yeah.
a horrible existential threat to us.
Mhm.
But
I would like to ritual cast identify on this.
Sure. Ritual casting identify is short. You'll find out what the crystal is fundamentally at its core. But you don't. This is kind of hard because identify will tell you what a magical item is and its properties. But this isn't really quote unquote magical item, right? It's more like a fundamental force of the universe, kind of distilled into a thing,
An orb.
And so like, yeah, you get information back like this is anathema, this is a fundamental force of the universe. Its job is to essentially break down thing. It's the antithesis to creation. It is destruction. The problem is that to learn anything like really big about it, you'd probably need something more like legend lore.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
I didn't want to open with this.
Yeah.
But I figured as a last resort. Can Sparks do legend lore?
Do some
That seems like the kind of
analyzing.
thing. Yeah.
Oh no. There goes Star again. Yes, Sparks can attempt to do some legend lore. He has done so in the past. Sparks will ponder the orb. Let's see. Bonk. All right. What exactly do you want to know about it, though? This will sharpen the scan, as it were.
I want to
Mhm.
figure out, I guess, like, what the connection is between it and Emery,
Mm-hmm.
to figure out, like, what sparks, no pun intended, what sort of catalyzed it, sort of connecting to her,
Ah,
and how we can prevent that in the future. Like, what can we do to ensure that she can
That's-
use it, like, safely?
that's Star. Star's
Star
internet
is-
is being. Star is playing the part of
Help.
Sparks. Hi, there you are.
Help.
Hi.
My internet keeps cutting in and out because I don't have I'm getting Wi-Fi on Monday.
Okay. Are you can hear us properly?
Yes, now.
Cool. Sparks is about to do a scan that is very specific.
And
All right. You know what? Why don't you roll this? We'll call it an Arcana check.
oh boy. No, this is the one that rolled that nat 1 earlier. You go over there.
Oh no, not you, Emery. I'm so sorry. This is Tim rolling this
Oh.
because
Can I-
because Sparks is her boy. Yeah.
It just a straight roll or with advantage, because it's Tim and Sparks working together.
If it's Tim and Sparks working together, then yes, you can get advantage. Sparks' little beady eyes pop out and like telescope around the orb and like
24.
24. I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, okay. Where? Ah. There it is. So you're identifying the data. We haven't in the past, or rather in the past we have done, something where it's a little more show and tell. So this one is a little harder because it's more raw numbers you're looking at here.
Ron
Yours-
numbers?
Raw numbers.
Raw numbers.
They haven't been cooked. It's like the opposite of alphabet soup. You know. You gotta be careful, you'll get salmonella from raw numbers. The
I don't appreciate the slander towards my branding. Good day, sir.
Yeah,
Maybe if
well,
you-
leave and take your numbers with you.
Maybe if you cooked your numbers, you wouldn't have this fucking problem, dude.
I will.
the oh, poor Star. The information you're getting is specifically based on, because you focused it on the connection between Emery and the crystal. Based on this one sample size, you're not sure if this is normal, but you can see that Anathema has a predilection for latching on to sources of mortal anguish. There's something there where if somebody is particularly upset in a very destructive manner, it seems like Anathema can't really act so much on its own overtly unless it does this. And so what it's doing is it happens to latch on to the nearest mortal creature, sentient creature anyway, that has a more or less overwhelming feeling of destruction and anger, and it empowers that ability in order to further its work. To that end, there's a little bit of what you might call sentience to the Anathema, in a way that you could probably describe a god as being sentient. It follows a certain set of rules. It tries to there's a lot of theologians in this universe that suggest that gods aren't actually sentient creatures, that they are, for the most part, elements of the building blocks of reality that are pretending to be sentient.
Well,
And
we've got
this-
one right here. We can just ask him.
That's true. You totally could ask the dog if the dog is sentient. Dog recognizes itself in the mirror. It is, therefore it barks, therefore it is. But yeah, I think your takeaway from this, and you could probably learn a little bit more if you delved a little deeper or you had a particularly stronger laboratory presence. But with the stuff you have available to you, you think that likely what happened is that, and Emery described this to you, and you were there in the dream. You know how angry she was. Wrong place, wrong time.
So there isn't necessarily like a danger of it reattaching to her unless she gets like super pissed again.
She gets worked up like that again, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Sorry, your camera is on, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix my shit, and it's not working. Although, cycling it like that, it made the disgusting static noise go away. I've been hearing for like 2 minutes. It's good. I had to mute my mic for a bit. I love everything. Anyway, if people were paying attention, they may have seen my forehead, but whatever, it's fine.
Finally, a face reveal.
Yeah,
Hooray.
well done. Good name.
Oh my god, it's not like I haven't done like several of those on my channel already.
Wow.
Well, I think that
Here.
once she
I'll
has
do
this
you guys
information-
one. Grab
Oh,
It's
Cat reveal!
Marlo! Cat
Oh.
reveal.
Hi.
Folks, you know what this
Ooh.
means. You gotta drop a like and a subscribe now. There's a cat
Mm-hmm.
in this
There's a
video.
cat. Yeah.
It's the rule of the internet. You have to share it in
here.
everything. This is gonna
You
be the
must
video that cracks
subscribe.
us above a certain sub count. You watch. This will be like the 1 million view video we get.
1 million subscribers for Milo.
And then YouTube will be like, hey,
More like
there's
one
a
Milo
1
and
minute
subscribe-
bracket of time in this video that 1 million people have seen, and that's it.
Yes. What if I just do cat?
Cat cam.
Hi, baby. Yeah, I bet. All right.
Camera shot.
Enough of that.
Cat shy.
I'm just glad that the audio stopped fucking up.
The time being.
It sounded
yeah.
like you were trying to use a Dorito as a microphone.
I mean,
Who among us?
Among Us.
Among
Mm.
Us.
Now we can put Among Us in the tags. This is
Oh,
going to be our most
yeah.
popular
This is
episode.
it.
Hey,
Yeah.
look at
Oh,
that.
the metadata.
Now we just need to
SEO.
someone to reference Skibbity Riz, and we'll be all right.
Mm.
Oh, well, you just did it. Good job.
Emery went to the bathroom and she saw the Skibbity Toilet Man, and she was haunted forever.
Oh,
Minecraft
Oh,
3 a.m.
no.
Do not attempt.
GTA 5. GTA 6.
guys, we
We're
are
professionals on this here
we're
program.
so fucking painfully old. It is.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, yeah? When's your bedtime?
It's 9
That is not
PM.
fair. That's not fair.
She didn't deny it though, is the thing.
Oh my goodness. This is the best episode of What's Left of Us we've ever run.
It is. The best
So
cold
good.
open.
It's best.
Anyway, is my crystal gonna
Best
possess me
SEO.
again or not?
Yeah,
If
so I think
touch it?
when Tim finishes up this little ritual with Sparks, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I guess it seems pretty safe. I think as long as you're not like super upset and like angry and stuff, I think that you're safe to look at it."
That's such a bizarre takeaway from the information Jay gave you.
Is it?
You just learned that this object is a nihilist force of pure destruction, potentially an unsentient god dedicated to collecting and feeding on the suffering of others. But it can only enter your body and turn you into a rage monster if you're particularly angry. And the part that you chose to focus on was that since she's not particularly angry right now, it's perfectly safe for her to touch the magic crystal that reveals her most traumatic memories.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the...
Yeah, that tracks. That sounds right. Yeah.
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 Listen, this girl accidentally invented a god. I think her idea of what is safe is maybe not, the best, but it's fine. So yeah,
Look, if I was going to put somebody in charge of Gnomesha, it would be Tim Tam, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Safety is my number one priority, and it's not gonna like slurp back into you, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. Some might say safety is your passion, even.
Okay.
I thought graphic design was your passion.
Well,
That you can have multiple passions.
Oh no. 4-star.
And workplace safety.
Oh, there you are. Perfect.
What?
No, you're
yeah, who
good.
do you think makes those pictograms?
Fine.
With the hazard
Normal.
labels.
Anyway, I'm gonna look at the crystal again.
Okay. What do you wish from the crystal? What is your goal with the crystal? Henry is out of here.
The part is that I had like 20 questions written down in my little notebook that I keep on my desk. Do I know where that little notebook is? No.
It's in a box. Oh. For the viewers at home, Poor Star is having such bad internet problems. He's bouncing in and out of the call.
Hey, when that happens.
Right. I will give it a few more seconds to see what happens. There she is.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Hello. Like I can still hear you guys. I guess you
Okay.
can't hear me though.
No, we can hear
I
you
can hear
now.
Okay, well, yeah, now, but
You're
I
actually very
dropped
clear
to
right
0
now.
kilobits per
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, so I think she has a bajillion questions. I'm just gonna rattle off a couple, and you can interpret that and give me whatever based on that.
Okay.
So I'm thinking now that she knows what kind of happened with her mom, I think because when she asked what happened to her mom, she didn't see much of anything about the cult. And so it's like, so what was the mom's connection to the cult? If the mom, quote unquote, passed away and had like her memories erased and was sent away out to like some fucking where else, why is the cult cashing in on shit now? Why did they like take Emery's body? Why did any of that happen? Who are the people in charge? Just like a lot of questions about that. And DM, I will let you choose which of those to answer and in what way you would like to.
Right. Well, it's not up to me. You understand? It's up to the crystal.
Well,
and the crystal's
it's
going to
being
choose.
relayed through your fucking mouth. So.
Well, yeah, but the crystal's going to choose whatever would make Emery the most angry. So what would that be?
Well, I mean, that kind of depends on the answer. I think she'd be pretty pissed if her mom made some kind of, sure, you can have my daughter's body and do your evil deeds back when Emery was still like a child, if that was a thing that happened. I think she'd be pretty pissed seeing what they've been doing with her body in the meantime.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Well, to me, it seems like we're about to go meet grandmother, who seems like is also deeply involved with this cult, right?
What?
I don't think we
Why
know
would
that
you say
yet.
that?
Right, that's my point. Seems like that would make Star pretty mad.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Let's see here. Seeing what they've been doing with.
Oh yeah, no, we do know that his.
Yeah.
Do we know that his grandma's involved?
Oh wait, yeah, because you wanted to kill me that one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's why I said I'm
because
too
we're
stupid to
saying
do a
something like her
conspiracy.
grandmother was involved with it.
Yeah. And then you were like, what do you mean? And I'd be like, you never asked.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see here. If we know that, probably what they have been doing with your body makes the most sense. Yeah. I think so.
Puppet show.
Puppet show.
No.
I like a puppet show. The
I swear to God, I'm going to commit a federal crime.
What's that, Star? You're breaking up. Oh goodness.
I'm going to commit an international federal crime.
I
Uh-oh.
mean, that's normal for Americans. The
No.
All right, let's see here. Well, Emery, you are trying to control this thing with your willpower. Why don't you make me a wisdom saving throw? See if you can control the orb.
Good, I'm rolling so well today. I think I don't have any adjectives to it.
Well, I can definitely look for you.
A 19, bitches.
A 19. Okay.
Plus whatever my wisdom modifier is, which I believe is 0.
It is 0. Yes. Emery is extremely wise. You see, everybody. You oh, also, what is the context of this? Who is around while she's doing this?
I think just Tim
sure.
Tam. Unless because I think we probably like left the room because Emery was gonna be like, I'm gonna go piss.
Yeah, Vernon's just like,
and,
she's taking a while.
She gets really mad if we're there when she pisses.
Yeah.
Rathgrithr speaks her
Might even say
experience.
she gets pissed off.
I can't do it when you're here.
All right, so
Can't do it when there's people listening.
God.
Oh.
All right, Emery. That first wisdom saving throw was to see if you could get the orb to do anything for you at all. Takes a moment, but you remember what Tim Tam said, that this thing reacts to some anger. And so while you're trying to be very careful about not letting it grab you again, you do realize after a few moments that it's only going to respond to destructive tendencies. And so you think on the things that have made you angry, and voila, the stone reacts. In the swirling of it, you see and are sort of drawn into it, or your perception is anyway. Tim, you're just seeing her look at the stone without. She doesn't get slurped in. You just see her. The inside, you see the things that have been happening with Amelia while you've been gone. And it's been a lot. There have been meetings with politicians, other lords. There have been attempts to set up preferential marriage proposals with powerful families. There have been talks on getting certain laws passed that benefit the children specifically. There has been payoffs to the local guard to turn a blind eye towards unhoused folk going missing in the marketplace. There have been more and more attempts to get higher level officials to join the children. And the Waterdavian chapter has grown quite powerful indeed. More importantly, you see Amelia being used on the regular to go down below the city street to the place where you were abducted, to the children's secret place of worship, and make several attempts to draw in the power of the Earthropod into her frame to make an artificial whatever it is that Vernon is. They want to control that power. They don't want to leave it in the hands of someone like Vernon. And so they try. A few vagrants go missing and no one seems to care, but Amelia spends her nights being the last thing these people see. Now, because you've seen that, I need to make a wisdom saving throw again to see if you get angry.
Oh, good.
The suspense is killing me.
I know, right? This roll must be taking forever. Goodness. God, everything is bigger in Texas, including the gaps. Saving throw bonuses? Sometimes. Cat, sometimes. Nope, she's gone.
Oh,
What you get?
unfortunate.
Fucking 18. There we go. That's okay. She wrote it in the text. Yeah. Emery rolls an 18 and just barely maintains her composure with those last couple of images.
And the whole time it just, like, Tim just saw her just kind of like staring into the orb. There wasn't
Yeah.
anything.
No, it wasn't anything untoward from Tim's point of view. Although, if you are really trying to get a peek at what's in that orb, you're going to have to make me a wisdom saving throw too.
Fuck it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, yeah. Good.
5.
You guys hear me now?
We can hear you. You're a little,
God,
you're a little scratchy.
Dorito noises again.
Hello.
I'm hearing Doritos again.
It's okay. We got your 18. You are fine.
Okay.
Tim, however, rolled a 5.
Oh, what does that do?
Oh, Tim.
Timothy, no.
Tim. There's an interesting problem with you, isn't there? Where? Oh, there we are. Emery, you snap out of your vision in time to see Tim staring very closely. And the orb is reacting. Shooting out bands of red energy. They hit Tim as she is staring into the darkness of the orb itself. Tim, you are seeing every horrible moment of your parents' neglect. You're seeing the consequences of their actions. You're seeing them create more and more versions of you and discarding them as they do not measure up. You see them discussing if you measure up and when they should cancel the experiment. On a 5, you are so angry. But there's a problem. Tim, you understand from before that you are fundamentally made up of the stuff of the planar chord.
I forgot about that.
And Emery, you are also smart enough to understand that when two opposing forces match, the results tend to be annihilation. You need to get this orb away from Tim as fast as you can.
Yeah, is there, like, my consciousness? Do I see this happen?
You do.
I'm, how big is the room right now?
You're just in the
My first instinct, I think, would be to
fly. Oh no, this is a great time.
I think my first response would be to like. I think my first response would be to just chuck it across the room.
Yeah, you can try to chuck it across the room. Make me an athletics check.
Okay. 18. No.
18. You chuck it.
Plus whatever my athletics is.
You chuck it, and it flies pretty far across the room towards the doorway that leads outside. And it stops midair at a certain point away from Tim. You really are going to have to push this thing away from her.
Okay, I'm gonna run over there, and again, I'm gonna I've got that I feel like I just used this scarf I have around my waist. She took it off and was wrapping it in it. I'm just
Sure.
I'm not gonna touch it with my bare hands, but I'm gonna gum over it. I'm gonna wrap it in that stupid scarf, and I'm gonna just start tugging it out the fucking door.
Yeah, that seems like a cool idea. Give me half a second. Tim, can you roll me a spell attack on Emery, please?
Oh no, I don't wanna. Do I have to?
Yeah, absolutely.
12.
12. I don't think that actually hits Emery. Bravo.
My AC is higher than 12.
That is true. Yeah, so you get close
Humble
enough to
brag.
it, and a lash from Emery or from Tim Tam reaches out and smacks at you, and it's made of mostly spell stuff, and so you're able to kind of avoid it, but it's dangerous.
And so, what is Tim still seeing these visions, or
Oh,
what is
yeah.
she experiencing right
You're
now?
being
Okay.
drowned in it. You're literally seeing red. All right. Yeah, you can pull it again. The door to outside is right there. You just got to pull it. You're gonna make me another athletics check.
I think while she's pulling it, she's gonna start screaming for the others to get to help if they're in the other room.
That's a great question.
Hey, we need help out here!
I think because especially the lab is a physical location, you guys had to go down a set of stairs and then through a set of doors. Let's see if you guys hear it. Can you two roll me perception checks?
This would be passive perception, wouldn't it?
I suppose you could say that. I just want a little bit
Okay.
more.
13.
13.
I hold on a sec. I rolled a 16.
That's pretty. Yeah, I think Vernon, you just kind of barely hear some yelling from up top.
And so what I would say with, wait a second, my crabby sense is tingling. I hear. Seems there's something amiss upstairs. Perhaps we should go and check it out.
Our friends need help in the bathroom.
It would appear so, yes. Very strange, but that's what the crabby sense is telling me.
And if your friends need help in the bathroom, don't forget to buy the squatty potty, everybody. It is
Sponsor segue.
one day we're gonna get a sponsor, and it's gonna be a fucking nightmare for those poor people.
Uh-huh.
And we all agree that no matter what our sponsor is, we will discuss our elimination posture.
Very much. Yeah. Mhm.
I'll be your-
I don't know about you all, but I do a headstand.
Seems
Anyway.
counterintuitive, but all right.
But yeah, you folks come home and you you sort of burst through the doorway, and you see Emery holding on to the orb that is attached to Tim with red arcing pulses, and it is just a fight.
Hey,
wants to
what the heck? What's going
Let me
on
get in the
here?
car!
What?
Grab Tim and pull! Just something!
All right,
Tim, I
we'll
need
try.
you to make
I'm
me
gonna keep,
3 more
trying
spell
to-
attacks, please.
Two 23s and a 16.
I
Oh,
believe
good.
that beats everybody. It does.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me roll some damage.
Also, I know that Tim
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to see this, but what is going on with Sparks during this?
That is a fantastic question. Did Sparks come up with you?
Probably. I think that unless she explicitly tells him to stay, then he sort of just follows her around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In that case, he's probably trying to help Emery pull the orb away. I would imagine. Everyone takes 9 force damage.
Oof.
From Tim.
This is why I hate orbs.
So folks, you can tell me how you're trying to help get this orb away from Tim. You can try, before I was just kind of corralling Emery into doing athletics, but you folks have a wide range of abilities now, and now you're all here. You can maybe have a cooler head and try to figure what's going on.
I mean, I think Emery is still just physical forcing.
All right, you can roll an athletics check if you like.
Yup. 17.
Okay.
I love these dice. 17 plus whatever my athletics is, and I'm just still trying to pull the damn thing away.
I don't have any spell slots, otherwise I'd try to use distort value and make it look more worthless.
What do you think you're gonna do then, Vernon?
I guess I'm going to try to also like just physically pull Tim away from the orb.
Oh, you're gonna pull Tim. Interesting.
Yes.
You
I'm
can
like,
make
well,
me an athletics
obviously
check as well.
the shorter one is going to be easier to move away from the orb. So make a strength check, you said?
Yeah, athletics check. So you get a +1 to this.
Athletics check. Okay. Okay, so that's gonna be 14.
A 14, that's not bad. You and Emery are like slowly pulling them apart. Emery's going towards the door. That's an exit. Tim's being pulled apart. Rathgrithr, what are you thinking? Mighty Rathgrithr.
I mean, if he's gonna pull Tim, I'm gonna. Can Star like not move?
Yes,
Can Emery not move?
yeah, you can see Emery is slowly like pulling this orb towards the exit.
I'm gonna try and help her pull it.
Sure. You can
What do
go
I
ahead
roll?
and do the same thing. Athletics check it is.
That's a nat 1.
Nat 1.
Oh,
I
no.
push.
Yeah, I think you get up to it, and one of the tendrils, as they are starting to get very tight, as you're trying to like pull them apart, they're like elastic almost, and they're starting to show a lot of strain. And you get close and you try to like help Emery push, and instead you like touch one of them, and you just get a quick flash of an angry memory. Tim, I need to make me 3 attacks again.
That's so many.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Yeah, we're gonna roll 3 d20s. A 20, a 27, and a 13.
Okay, hold on. I don't think that 13 hits anybody, but it could hit Vernon, and that's bad for Vernon. It does not hit Vernon. Actually, yeah. So that 13 hits somebody that it misses. So that would be Rathgrithr. So Emery and Vernon will take a little bit of damage. Emery and Vernon take 18 force damage.
Jesus Christ, I'm down to 2 hit points.
Yeah, Vernon, especially with like your arms are around little Tim's waist and you're trying to like really pull her, and you just get hit with a whole bunch of tendrils as they start to like really pull taut, and you can see they're cutting through your skin.
Eesh. Man, it's too bad that Tensor's transformation doesn't actually like give me any additional hit points or anything. Oh wait, no, it does.
Gives you temporary hit points, yeah.
All right.
We're gonna start this time with Rathgrithr. Rathgrithr, what do you think you're gonna do?
I am going to rush towards Tim Tam, and I'm going to try and cast Hold Person.
Ooh.
Oh, I see.
Just to see if I can like kind of get my body around her to like stop her from sending out magic goo
I
or
see.
whatever.
I see. Yeah. I believe Tim, you're gonna have to roll a saving throw of some sort.
Yeah, wisdom save.
Wisdom saving throw. I'm great at those. 13
You fail. You are held.
Is hold.
is held.
Tim is held all of a sudden. It doesn't stop you from being angry, and unfortunately, it doesn't stop the lashes from being connected to the orb.
You are
see.
paralyzed for the duration of this spell. At the end of each of your turns, you may make another wisdom save to attempt to break out.
Correct. So you're
Cool.
currently unable to make attacks, which is very fun for everyone else. Vernon.
Okay. I'm going to use Tensor's transformation and turn into a crab. Into the crab man.
Vernon assumes his crabulous form. What does it look like now that you're sort of like doing it on purpose for probably the first time, actually?
I think that he just starts to like kind of grow the chitin as kind of armor, just like starts shooting through his skin a little bit. Envelops his person, and he just becomes a giant crab monster. Just like
Returns to crab.
yes,
Everything
returns to
eventually
crab.
becomes a crab.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And he's going to like use his pincers to try to like separate the tendrils from Tim.
Absolutely. That's not bad. Make me an attack roll with your new Tensor's transformation abilities.
Which I don't remember what that is. Like for well, good thing I get advantage.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so I rolled a 3 and then a 10. So I don't think there's any additional thing. That's either 4 or an 11, I believe. Huh?
Well, it's a 13 you rolled because
Okay.
it's basically an unarmed strike. So because you're the way you are.
I didn't see that on there, but
Your
okay,
unarmed
I'll
strike
take
is
your word
actually a
for it.
+4, which is wild. So you rolled a 14.
Yes.
I mean, you hit the bonds, but you're gonna need a little bit more magical power on this. You're doing right because your claws are a magical weapon, right? And you're seeing how it reacts. And Rathgrithr, you're right there, so you're noticing how the tendrils react to being struck with magical force, essentially. Emery, you're on the opposing side of this. You just got walloped.
Yep. I think this might be a bad idea. I feel like she's seeing what this thing is doing to Tim. And I almost feel like, doing that thing where it's like you kind of just start like talking and saying shit as you're exerting force. It's like, come the fuck on, come on. I think in her like frustrated, just like fuck you, is like trying to get this thing away. She's like starts talking to the crystal like, I thought I was the one you wanted. Leave Tim alone. Get it. Basically, just like maybe trying to convince it to go back inside her if that means it will leave Tim alone.
Ooh.
And let her go.
Unfortunately.
You want anger? I've got plenty in spades.
Unfortunately, one, it already has Tim under its control, or at least it's attempting to, and two, acting in terms of self-sacrifice is a very difficult thing to have anger with alongside, at least in the type of anger that Tim is having right now. So she is still a more tempting target. You gotta stop
What
being
if I
so.
put myself between Tim and the crystal?
You gotta maneuver yourself in the way.
Yeah.
Hang on, I need
Like try
bigger
to
dice for this.
force it to connect to me instead.
I think that it would hurt you, not necessarily connect to you, is the only thing.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, you are going to take 22 points of force damage as you try to force your way in between the crystal and Tim.
Feels like a lot.
I don't know how much health I have.
How much health damage have you taken so far?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping track. I told you I don't have my character sheet.
That's true. Emery goes down.
Ah, shit.
The orb begins to slowly retract towards Tim. Tim, you can't do anything, but at the end of your turn, you may take a wisdom saving throw. See if you can break free of the whole person.
Nine.
No, you're still held. No attacks for you. Vernon, we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Rathgrithr next.
Okay, I am not totally sure how, like, if this works.
You notice
Like,
that your
while I've
claws
got-
did seem to start working.
Well, so I was going to say I might want to try to use magical cunning so that I can get a spell slot back. But that requires me to do it for a minute, and I don't think I can just hold on to Tim and do that.
That's like
so.
6 turns in combat, yeah.
Yeah. So, what I think that what I'm going to do then is, I believe that I'm gonna have to use a cantrip and maybe do a little bit of a mind sliver, see if that works
On Tim?
on Tim, or on the crystal. I don't know.
On the crystal? I mean, whichever one.
I don't think that would work. Ugh. I don't know. What do you think, Mildred or Star or anybody? I don't know.
I would probably try and move the crystal, since we have Tim Tam in one place, right? She can't
Fair
move.
Fair point. Okay, yes. So I will try to continue to sever the tendrils using my claws, my magical claws.
Okay, go ahead and make another attack.
Ooh, that's a 23.
That hits, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You and especially because Tim Tam is more held now, if you want, you can make your second attack, like Tensor's Transformation allows you to.
Okay.
And Rathgrithr, you're watching Vernon's big claws just kind of like work into the tendrils, and where they connect, you're seeing his chitinous flesh turn into star stuff for a moment, as he's working away. What's up?
I just want to clarify again. I get advantage on all attack rolls, right?
All attack rolls. Yeah.
Good, because I rolled a 2. Okay, that's a little bit better. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, perfect. So yeah, you're seeing, and more importantly, you're seeing the tendrils have actual trouble. Like, you're seeing the orb slow down as it comes towards Tim now. You're seeing the tendrils like having a real problem. It's your turn. Your turn.
My turn?
It's your
You
turn.
mean?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going to try and push Tim back away from Crystal Town.
Sure. Go ahead and give it an athletics check just to push little Tim. It's not gonna be that bad because she's not.
She
14.
little.
14.
Yeah, on a 14, you're definitely pushing her further from the crystal as you can. The crystal is like still kind of gaining, so you're sort of making very little progress in general. But you know, you're there.
All right.
Emery, could you make me a death saving throw, please?
Oh, good. I forgot I have to do those now because I don't have my little crystal. Oh, 7.
That's a failure.
This is great. I'm having a good time.
All right. First failure on the docket. Mildred, we're back to you again. I don't know. Things are looking a little grim. Maybe if you give Vernon more time, Vernon will be able to sever the connection with his magical weapons. Although you yourself has a magical weapon, I don't know what you would, if you would think to do that. I don't. It's up to you.
I also feel like I need to say that I do have the cantrip Spare the Dying, so if we can somehow get me towards Emery, we could, save her.
Would giving bardic inspiration end my concentration?
On
The whole person.
On the whole person? No. Bardic inspiration is separate.
And all right. Then I'm definitely gonna give Ron some bardic inspiration, just kind of inspire him to go crab mode.
Go full crab.
Click, click,
Is it
click.
just crab rave?
Yeah.
Oh god, I haven't thought about crab raven forever.
And I guess I might as well try and hack at the tentacles with my sword
Sure.
at this point. It's not like we can get more fucked. 15?
15 hits.
For 7 damage.
7 damage.
And I get a second attack.
You do.
25
25 hits.
for 12 damage.
12 damage. Do the calculation here. Vernon attacked it 3 times already. I think. Yeah. Everything slows down. It's like the both of you are moving through waves of thick water. Vernon is struggling with both of his big claw hands. More and more of him is turning back into stardust, literally harming himself and his godhood, or what remains of it, to break the connections of one of the most powerful forces in the universe on his friend. At the same time, Rathgrithr calls out, using a form of magic that is so deeply rooted in the music of life that it activates something in her sword. The suspicious sword that has belonged to a succession of heroes calling themselves Rathgrithr. That joie vivre just speaks to ages of heroism. And the two of you together cut clean through the tendrils of anger, controlling Tim Tam. The crystal drops to the ground, and the pair of you just kind of look at each other for a quick moment, suspended in time, knowing that you saved someone from being lost to that sort of thing. You both have real power, and this is the first time the both of you decided to use it in this way. Things clear back up, and you realize that Emery is dying a slow death on the ground. Emery, can you give me one more death saving throw, please?
Help.
Don't roll a 1.
12.
12 is a success.
I'm going to cast Spare the Dying to help Emery get back up.
So real quick, because I feel like we're probably about to take a break, I just want to say that I'm pretty sure one of those earlier blows would have knocked me out anyway, because I don't think I had a lot of HP after the circus. So she probably would have already gone down before she did her stupid thing. Just for the record. That's kind of why I was like, why not? I should have gone down with that last hit, probably. Oh, but he's nerfed.
I don't think we should fuck with this orb anymore.
No, I would say that we probably shouldn't. Well, I could always take it to the astral plane, just fling it off into nothingness. Sure, it wouldn't latch onto anybody else. Probably.
I'm not sure I want it floating about unaccounted for. It seems quite dangerous.
That is a fair point. It could fall into the wrong hands, especially with what we saw out there in the stars.
Are you were you all right? You seem to have turned into a bit of star stuff there.
Oh yes, I'm just disintegrating a little bit. You know how it is. It happens in every fight. And Vernon coughs up a little bit of blood because he's down to 2 hit points. I'm fine, I swear.
Do you need healing? I can.
Oh yes, that a little top off couldn't hurt.
I'll cast Cure Wounds. That's 11 points.
Oh, thank you.
For you?
I feel much better now.
Maybe on Star as well, while we're at it.
Help, I'm bleeding
I
out.
suppose.
Emery's just bleeding out in the corner.
Unfortunately, that one's just for 4 points. But you're stable.
Better than 0. She starts coughing up blood in the corner as well, but she's alive.
Thank goodness for that.
Is Tim Tam conscious?
Tim Tam
Yeah,
is
what?
indeed conscious.
So I assume that the hold person dropped as soon as combat was over as well.
You assume incorrectly.
Oh. I forgot. Yes, absolutely.
I am holding Tim.
Get held, idiot.
Yeah. Just I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because I guess that that is what determines. Because I think that if she is not held, then she's just gonna sort of like collapse. But if she's paralyzed, then she will, I suppose, remain stuck.
I don't like it's the condition paralyzed, right? So it's not like you can't speak or
You can still speak. Yeah.
You can still speak? I didn't think you
Yes.
could speak with held person. Oh.
Yep.
New rules.
Oh.
But yes, absolutely.
I don't think that she would speak. I think that she is a bit speechless.
You've got some explaining to do. Turning into a rage monster. I expect that sort of thing from Emery. To a lesser extent, Vernon, but not you.
Emery will crumple on the ground and Family Guy death pose. Look, stop it.
Raises the middle finger, but it's like very feeble.
Oh, you have to admit, you do occasionally turn into a rage monster. I'm not saying anything out of school here.
Don't have to point it out like that. She coughs up more blood.
I was just looking. I didn't think anything would happen.
Looking at what? This orb?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is an evil orb, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not an orb expert.
Emery. Oh my gosh, Emery. Did I do that?
I think so. I didn't think you were gonna look at it too.
Well, I thought it was safe. I thought it only.
I think at this point she's like rolled over, so she's facing you guys. I don't think she could really get up yet, but she's like, guess you're angrier about your whole thing than you thought, huh?
Yeah, I didn't think I was like an angry person, and then I was. I suddenly just was. That was really scary. Is that what it felt like for you every single time that happened to you?
I mean, I don't know what you felt exactly, but probably.
Yeah, I take back what I said previously. I redact my assessment that the orb is safe.
Can I use second wind and get a little bit more health back?
Yeah.
Also, Rathgrithr, can you let me go, please? I'm kind of stuck, and I want to go pet my dog.
You're not going to shoot
Mine
any
is
tentacles
holding.
at us, are you?
I don't think that I have any more tentacles. I promise I'm not
Because
angry.
if you do, we'll have to have words. And I let her go.
She immediately runs up to Sparks and gives him a big ol' hug.
Yes. Sparks is there, and obviously he kind of leans into you the way that big dogs do when they're when you give them big hugs or pets or anything like that. Yeah, it's a calming presence. I think you're probably understanding Tim, especially because Tim has this sort of mind that sort of analyzes things like immediately. I think you're understanding that whatever this crystal does, it also sort of amplifies the effect. And so, yeah, maybe you are actually angrier than you thought at these things, but the crystal turned it up to like 11 and ripped the knob off, sort of deal, which is something that Emery has had to been dealing with this whole time.
Yeah, I think that the crystal, I mean, yeah, it is worst for people who are already super angry, but I think that it could happen to anybody, even if they're not super angry, because it just makes them feel even angrier than they are. So I don't think that it's safe for anybody.
I think at this point I will have just like pulled myself up by my bootstraps enough. I'm gonna walk over to the crystal. I'm gonna grab that scarf that I'm sure is now covered in my own blood. Pick it up, wrap it up, and just kind of like hold it out like a severed head in a bag.
Can it be destroyed?
No idea.
Yeah,
One way to find out. I'd like to just
Okay,
direct.
let's not do that when we're all. Maybe we just find somewhere to hide it. I don't know if destroying it is gonna be. It might be horny for that. It might like that because it's like it's like destruction energy. Trying to destroy it might make it bigger or some shit.
If
I don't know how
it wanted
that
to
shit
be
works.
destroyed, it would have made you destroy it when it was in control of you. We never deal with our problems head on, and this is why we get into these situations. I don't think it's wise to leave this crystal behind to let it take control of the next person who happens upon it.
I think that
Well,
we need to find somebody responsible to take care of it.
Well, if there's anyone responsible who has any ounce of anger in them.
Well, is there like a like vault for magic stuff?
Hey,
Is
hey, Tim Tam.
Yeah.
This might sound a little insensitive, and I apologize if it is.
Okay.
Do those automatons feel emotions?
Well, Okay, it depends on what you mean by feel, and it depends on how you define emotion. Because what are emotions if not just electrical signals going through our brains, you know?
I'm
Right?
sorry.
Because
What-
I'm thinking, if we leave this thing here, it might not be a good idea because I don't. If they're automatons and they're not if they can't feel the emotion of anger, maybe
We're not
leaving
leaving
the
it
crystal
here.
with
All the twin tams are here. We can't let them grow up
that's
in the
another
presence
problem.
of this thing.
Is there another tower with other automatons?
I think we need to find. Well, the problem is that I think that this could affect anything. I think it could even affect automata. So I think that we either need to destroy it, which I don't think we're strong enough to do that yet, or
Yeah, I don't think hitting it with a sword's gonna do shit. Hey,
Well,
let's
then
get
what
to
do
it.
we have to
volcano we
lose?
could drop it in.
True.
Or I
hey,
mean,
Dungeon Master, there was in the lab where the piece of purple crystal was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this was actually part of the universe or if this was just part of the map. There was a big pit underneath a chamber in that room, right?
Yeah, you didn't really see where the pit went because it was very big, but presumably it has an end. It probably just goes deep into the ground.
You two have made
Consider.
some decisions with this orb today that I think were questionable. So I think it's fair to say that I deserve to speak my mind.
No.
And
by all
but
means, just
guys, don't get too angry when you're near it.
I hold out my sword and I say, this thing is powered by emotion. This sword carries with it the hopes and dreams and the life-affirming heroism that my name inspires.
Emery kind of raises an eyebrow.
Need we revisit the subject of your Rathgrithr fan fictions, Emery?
That's not what they are!
Regardless, you know as well as I that my legend runs deep.
Okay, yeah, legend. But is that I don't think that hitting this thing with a sword is going to destroy it.
It
And
is
I was also over the table. I don't know.
You
if Emery
didn't think
knows
it would
this.
be
it is a
dangerous.
force of nature. I don't know that you're right. Your sword is super powerful, but this is older than the universe kind of stuff.
Plus, I'm worried if we try to destroy it, it's just gonna what if this is. I mean, y'all described what happened to me as it was almost like a black hole that sucked things in when this thing was possessing me. What's to say that this is not its new body or something, and that cracking it open is just gonna not unleash that black hole again, and then we have nowhere else to put it?
Who's to say that if we leave it without destroying it, it won't wriggle its way into our minds and influence our actions?
I think we need to find a responsible adult.
I think
we
this
can always
is-
show it to my
Leave
grandmother.
with any person.
Is your grandmother a responsible adult?
My God.
She's an adult.
Poor Rathgrithr. Rathgrithr's trying to have an actual conversation for once, and everyone's just like, hey, grandmother might be a responsible person.
I don't think that we're equipped to handle this.
Listen, and I'll just hoist the bloody scarf into Rathgrithr's hand, or just push it up against your chest. It's if you want to do something with this, then by all means. I do not have the HP to deal with that again.
I very carefully set it down and I draw my sword and I said, everyone leave the room, please. If this goes wrong, I don't want any of you getting hurt.
I'm gonna start walking out of the room. I'm gonna stop. Gonna look back. Gonna get some rope out of my bag, and I'm gonna tie it around Rathgrithr's waist, and I'm gonna lead it out of the room and be like, "This is so you don't get sucked into the black hole if it makes it again." And just I'll do it and walk out of the room.
Very wise.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure, but this is, as far as I can tell, the wisest course of action. No other plan makes sense to me. Every second this thing is in our presence, it is a existential threat to my friends, the people I care about, and I will not allow it.
Okay.
Maybe I kind of like aside
I-
to Tim. Hey, maybe we should like tell Henry and the little bots to like go out the front door and just like go hang out in the woods for like a little bit, just in case.
I mean, you're kind of at
there's
the
not a
front
back door just left there.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I would like to cast enlarge on Rathgrithr.
Ooh.
There's a lot of space here because, like I said, you were in the front foyer of the. Actually, you know what? I can just put us there. We're in the front foyer of this tower, essentially.
Because I think that that's the best option that I have for like helping to strengthen her for this. I think that that's my best.
Make my monster
option.
grow. There you go.
Yes.
Would you? Can we agree that in this form I am Rathgrithr?
I was gonna make a girth joke, but I thought that it was just too much.
No, it's not. It's good. I am pleased.
Also, Tim is staying in there with her.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Well, Rathgrithr.
I hold my magic sword aloft, and I concentrate on the feeling that I felt once in the wrestling ring and once today. The legend of Rathgrithr, what it meant to Penelope when she was alive. And with all of my might, I bring my magic sword down upon the crystal.
Rathgrithr is literally larger than life.
Almost without thinking about it, you spend another bardic inspiration, this time on yourself. And focusing on your legend is such a different thing now. You've gone from desperately pretending to be the person you are to reliving memories of a dead woman that you are essentially made out of, to understanding that while you might be neither of those two, you are now something different and yet important to the makeup of this universe. You hold the suspicious sword of Rathgrithr above your head, and you shout. It's unintelligible. Tim, you're a magic user. You understand that what is happening here is Rathgrithr is speaking one of the power words. You don't know which one. You're completely unsure. It could, of course, be one of the lost power words. And as she does, her sword flakes, the iron coming off of it, to reveal a sword of pure purple crystal that resonates all on its own. Rathgrithr, you don't know how you know this, but the sword's name is Denouement. And you bring it down on the red crystal with a flash. And folks, I'm so sorry, but that is where we're gonna have to leave it for this week.
What?
You're not fucking sorry.
That's illegal. Crimes are being committed. Criminal activity.
I will have to change your sword in your background whenever I can get into that.
I've already done.
Ha, nice.
Questions about that fucking sword.
It's a whole other magic item I prepared, but
Oh,
regardless,
okay.
yeah,
All right.
Mm,
right. A literal fade to white, everybody. God, I love it when that happens. We are going to take a very quick break, 5 or 10 minutes, not too long. Poor Ron has to leave us, so Ron, buddy, please tell the kind folks where to find you.
Sure. I'm not on most social media right now, but you can still check out my podcast at YouTube. You just search Just a Little Guy Podcast and it should pop up, or go to justalittleguypod.com and you'll be able to look at all the episodes. Everybody who's on the show has been on that show. So yeah, listen to what kind of monsters we make on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, everybody say goodbye to Ron. Ron's gonna go and do his other job that doesn't
Bye,
require
Ron.
this sort of shenaniganery, and he will have much less stress in his life, I'm sure. And then the rest of us are going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. We are going to grab some food, some liquids, and we are going to come right back here onto the couch. So manage your questions, get them ready, and we'll see you in about 5-ish minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Wow.
Welcome back to the couch, everybody. It is us. It is I. It is all of us.
We were having a totally normal conversation while the mics were off.
We were. I mean,
As usual.
as usual. As
Yeah. Par for the course
Necromancy
for us.
is fine
Anyway.
and normal, and no one should shame you for it.
Is hamburgers necromancy? Mort 11.
Mhm.
Oh God, he's playing the fucking
Yeah,
music again.
I am vetoing executive decision.
Fine.
Music is a no.
I would play Under the Sea, but I don't want the corpse of Walt Disney to stride up out of his grave and throttle me.
Okay, who would be more undead, Hamburger or the shambling corpse of Walt Disney that they keep cryogenically frozen underneath Disney World?
It's probably the corpse one, I think.
I would think
But
so.
we just talked about how Cheeseburger is undead.
No, you didn't say anything about a cheeseburger.
No, that's we're getting into
hamburger.
metaphysical
it's
realms.
yeah.
We can't yet.
I'm sorry, you add cheese to it and it's now less qualified as an undead creature.
Yes.
Well, cheese has active bacterial cultures which are alive. So
Obviously, yeah.
So does me who eat the cheeseburger. And thereby make it necromancy because the
Well, are
the
we
burger-
talking about the food as it sits on the plate or the food as it is in the belly?
Well, it's an A to B process. That is the life cycle of burger.
I feel like because if we are qualifying the act of eating a hamburger as necromancy, that means that like the act of giving life itself is a necromancy, which makes giving birth a form of necromancy.
I think that's just regular.
Oh yeah, giving birth is absolutely necromancy.
So what are the questions from the audience?
So, welcome back. This is our couch session, where we do, among other things, answer your questions and questions from each other, such as are hamburgers necromancy and is birth just normal mancy?
Does unlife begin at conception?
That's the question we got to ask, right?
Does that and if it does that make banging a necromantic act?
It's definitely a romantic act.
Right.
I mean, if you're doing it right.
Well, it kind of depends.
Can't have necromancy without romancy.
Is Valentine's chocolate? That's also a food.
Yeah, I think we've established all food is necromantic in nature.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do.
I think we.
What we're gonna do is you folks are gonna ask question in the comments. You're gonna start each of your questions with the word question, and I will use it to find your questions, and we will attempt to answer them to the best of our abilities for the next, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. And of course, ask each other questions, burning questions, like the one we just asked. Some of you have already started the obligatory what the fuck, Jay. This one was actually probably a little more what the fuck, because you guys don't know if I actually just killed you all or not. Very fun on my part.
Do we wake up on a chew and then start the entire thing over again?
There was a moment. There was a moment tonight where when he said everything slowed down and we didn't know, and Ron was turning to star stuff, and I was like, "We gonna fucking wake up in the chew again?" Level 1.
Yeah, no, it's like a roguelike where we go back with all of the stuff we have currently, and then progress through. Yeah,
you have to unlock. Yeah,
listen, how to stretch your D&D campaigns by
new campaign plus.
New campaign plus surprise. The DLC is wild, everybody. But yeah, no, this one was pretty fun for me in particular. I enjoyed it. I saw my opportunity and I took it like I usually do. How do you guys feel about it?
I feel like I played you like a damn fiddle, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely, you did. It was pretty good. How long have you wanted to know more about that sword? Probably since you got it, I imagine. But like,
I didn't know there was more to the sword. I thought because after the wrestling event where I held up the sword and by the power of Grayskull, I thought that was it. I thought it was just the magic sword that carries with it the spirit of Rathgrithr. I didn't know there would be that it's also apparently a crystal, thus I assume related in some way to the orb of entropy that we are contending with.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. And then obviously Star was yelling. So
Ah.
let's see. We have. This isn't about one. This isn't necessarily about our play, but question from Game On. I finally played D&D for the first time tomorrow. Bravo! Congratulations. Hope you have fun. And my character has amnesia. Solid choice. Like 8 out of 10 D&D characters have amnesia. It's great. I would highly recommend. How can I emphasize that in game without being too annoying? That's a very good question. It depends on your DM. Hopefully they'll give you some chances to throw back and be mysterious about the things you don't know about. But you could also choose to have your character be out and open about the idea that they don't remember anything about their past. But if you want to be more mysterious than that, because it does create conflict, I don't know. I would say in the moments where you can get to the spotlight a little bit and ask the DM for like a moment, you can do like mysterious things that sort of like hint to the fact that your character doesn't know who they are or large memories from their past. You know?
I think also
the big thing is like,
Oh.
is it a secret to the other
Yeah.
players or not?
Yeah.
Because for me, I've used amnesia in not this game, but in a different game, and Star loves amnesia tropes very, very much. This is kind of my thing. But for me, whenever I make a D&D character, they always have to have some kind of spicy secret. Spicy in like the not the sexy term, but like just interesting secret. And so for one of my characters, her secret was that she can only remember the last 6 months or so. She doesn't have any memories before that. That did not get brought up in the game to the other characters for like, how many sessions was it? Like 5 or 6, I think. It was a couple months of playtime.
Yeah.
I would say it's
So
kind of it's kind of the wrong question to ask, because you having amnesia will never annoy the other players, right? What you have to ask yourself is, first of all, do you, the player, know why your character has amnesia? And if you have a good reason for that, you communicate that with your DM so that they can use it. But like, that's your character's story. Like the whole point of D&D is to tell a story together, right? No one's going to be like, oh, here we go with the amnesia again. Stop role playing. We're here to fight monsters.
And if you are, because there's a game that I play in where that is the case, it's just a different sort of thing. If that's not what you want, don't play in that game. And if people get irritated by role play and you want to role play, maybe that's not the group for you.
And also to add to Star's point about secrets, sometimes it's fun for your character to be keeping a secret that you the player are not keeping from the other players, because then it's like a fun improv game to play where they get to kind of joke around by like suggesting a question that would expose that secret, right? Like I'll give you an example. In this campaign, the fact that everyone at this table knows that Rathgrithr knows how to read, but none of the characters know that she knows how to read. Right. So anytime the concept of reading is introduced, it's like a fun little, oh, how did you know that? Or how did, and then, I have to go, oh, I don't know. And then it's fun for everyone, right? Like you give other players the opportunity to kind of add to the story is kind of the answer. So the answer to any question that starts with, how do I not be annoying in D&D, is involve the other players.
Yeah. Be a generous scene partner, really. Give them opportunities to help shape your story at the same time, right? Because it's not fun otherwise. What do you do at that table otherwise? It's sharing the spotlight is only part of it. You also have to just be interactive with the other players as much as you can be. Let's see here. Question: what is Kitty's name and how old is them? That was for Star. However, Star seems to have crashed out again. Star's
The cat's
cat-
name is Kermit.
I believe the only and hippest cat in the Muppets is Dr. Teeth. So. It was really funny because if she can hear us, she's yelling at us right now.
The cat's name is Milo, and
Mhm.
she is a baby. She is the baby, right? She's only like
She is the baby. She is 3.
6 months
Yeah.
or a year. 3? Oh, she's older than I thought she was. I thought she was
Yeah,
actual baby.
she is yelling at us just in text chat.
Oh, she is
Absolutely.
3. Oh, yeah, she
Mhm,
did say
yeah.
that.
Brilliant. A question from Jared Sadewater for Jay. Why do you hurt your players in such a loving way? Excuse you? First time I've ever heard that before. Would you? True?
I too would like to know the answer to this.
Yeah. Because love is pain. And love includes pain. I think making sure that every player has the option and ability to take a moment and not just goof around with it, but be poignant with their characters is super important. I play with players from across the spectrum. Children, older folks, shy folks, very outgoing folks, neurospicy folks of all flavors. And there is so many different ways to play games like this that it's really difficult sometimes to know which people are going to be able to take advantage and have those big character moments. Everyone likes to be goofy and happy with their characters, but everybody also really enjoys having moments with their characters that matter, that feel like part of the story, that have an aspect of being serious with their character and having like some actual drama and emotion with it. And not everybody is able to really do that. And so making sure that I know what your character is and what they are thinking so that I can poke at you specifically so that you can take advantage and decide whether or not to play into the emotion of that scene. I think that is something a game runner should be like. That's the primary thing a game runner should do in every context. Make sure that the player can do something that matters to them. And that's why a lot of the times it hurts, because a lot of us are very dramatic bitches and we love to do shit like this. It's so good. So good.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been dramatic a day in my life. Also, hi, my mic is working now.
Yes. Oh, so you don't remember telling me how after the first big Verity reveal you scream sobbed at your cats for like half an hour?
It wasn't right after. It was later it was like a couple days later in the shower. I was getting like really listen, some people sing in the shower. I go full theater kid and I like dances, and then I just like do really, really dramatic like monologues and like act out the scene in my little shower, and it makes my kitty cats really concerned when I come out of the shower and I'm crying like actively, and I have to bend down and I have to like pet them and I have to be like, it's okay kitties, I'm not upset, mommy just thought too hard about her D&D characters again. And I wish I could say that only happened once.
It's also like, if you haven't played a TTRPG, you might not be familiar with this phenomenon, but you will come in with a character that you think you are playing as a bit, that you are doing as a joke. Like, I'm going to make the silliest, stupidest character with a dumb gimmick. And then 3 to 4 sessions in, you will realize that you have developed like such a sincere emotional attachment to this character. And you want them to grow and change and learn. I was playing a character who was he was a barbarian but he was an orcish barbarian, but the gimmick of the character was that he was actually kind of I lifted from Tim Tam, a gnomish young boy who had used a Zoltar machine to become bigged.
That's funny.
And at first I was doing it as a joke, but then like as the story went on and this young child is in this horrible, frightening situation, it started to affect me. Like, oh my
Very
God,
much like a Mr. Marvel sort of, or whatever, Billy Batson sort of situation.
You know, because
I think-
yeah, like the story started with us looking for a unicorn, and from like a kid's perspective, it's like, oh, we're going to go in the magic forest and look for the unicorns. It's going to be an adventure, and then you're fighting monsters, and there's all this trauma, and suddenly you have to contend with like, how would a child deal with that?
Very much. That's always been the most heart-wrenching things for me when someone writes a character like that very well. I made the Billy Batson reference because there is, of course, that very famous scene with him and Superman where Superman realizes that his big hero alter ego is actually just a mask that he's wearing, essentially.
And he just immediately goes to fuck up the wizard Shazam.
He goes to Shazam and like, hey, what the hell are you doing to that kid? That kid's seen some shit and it's your fault. Yeah, absolutely. And so so that any of you think that it's sort of like that phenomenon of being like, oh, I suddenly have feelings for this character. My character name was Purple Nopal Ding Dong, and now unfortunately he's embroiled in a political plot, and he's heart-wrenchingly sad because his mother was who ate half a country, and now I have to deal with that. I think any good group of people can definitely take a character concept like that, and then by the end of the campaign, absolutely change it so that Purple Nopal Ding Dong is like the hero of the ages, and everyone unironically loves him and his story. So. What I'm saying is Eli Fumblecrum will be a deep hero. Yeah.
Dave.
Oh my God, Dave. We have talked about Dave on the channel before, haven't we?
I believe so.
Yeah, Dave the Skull. Yeah. Wild. I think we had a big emotional moment with Dave just last episode.
We did in our most recent session. Dave.
He did.
Dave,
yeah,
our vampire skull friend.
Yeah, so far I've been playing Dave like a shitty Skeletor ripoff, essentially. And he's just a skull. And he's been trying to become the greatest Dark Lord of all time. But he's been slowly catching feels for the people around him. And they hit a moment where they all like vividly hallucinated about the things that they cared about the most.
In a giant mushroom cave.
And I was trying to push past without getting Dave's moment because Dave is an NPC, and of course the characters wouldn't know what Dave felt, so why would I treat them to that? And then Star got mad and demanded I do it, and so I did. And then in response, I crushed her little heart, her black little heart. I destroyed it.
Hey, no, that's in this campaign.
That's true. Let's go. Locilia Nightmare asks a question. Since there seems to be multiple chunks of the purple stone around, like in Tim Tam, are there more pieces of the black hole stone thingy? No, I tried to hint to it the very first time that Tim looked into this and started like getting ideas about what it is. There is only one of this anathema stone. There's only one, which is interesting because several of my players understand, because they play my other campaigns, that this stone has shown up at various times with various people that are very conflicting. So there's a deeper mystery there.
It's cool and fine
And also,
normal.
what are the implications of if we destroy it?
We're going to find out.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess we will.
Also, like, the deep hubris of an adventuring party going, oh, this is a fundamental force of the universe. I'm just going to hit it with my sword and that'll destroy it.
That's what I was trying to say is I don't think we can destroy it by hitting it with a sword.
Here's the thing, and you're all against me on this, but I'm right, because my choice is the more interesting one.
It is, yeah. See, the best part is, I think this is so funny because Rathgrithr is absolutely like I understand that I am in a game, I'm in a story sort of character.
Yes, no, that is consciously how I am playing, because Rathgrithr is a bard. So when she comes to realize she is Rathgrithr, she's not playing the part of Rathgrithr. She realizes that her strength is understanding the importance of stories.
My friends are my power.
Have you considered that if we went to find like a magic cop or like a vault or something, we could meet so many more cool NPCs who have super powerful magic.
We're going to meet cool
and then we might
NPCs
get
either
them
way.
sucked into the orb.
But the question that wouldn't get answered, the question that would be sitting in the back of our mind and the back of the audience's mind is, what would have happened if they hit that magic orb with a big sword? Everyone
Right.
would want to know. Maybe
Mhm.
nothing. Maybe something super cool. We don't know. We're going to find out.
See, Zoe
know,
just
it's
wanted to meet her
probably-
favorite NPC of mine, Vajra. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I feel like it's a good thing that we didn't end up going that direction, because I feel like if Tim and your Vajra ended up having a conversation, they would just
Oh my
not stop
God.
talking.
Oh, no. It would be...
Neither of them knows when to stop.
Yeah, yeah. Wild. You two would both be found collapsed somewhere because you literally fell asleep while talking animatedly about something. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. Rathgrithr understanding that she is a part of a narrative is... I was hoping it would go there, and I'm just kind of glad that it grew there naturally. I'm just... so funny. IDK is asking for DM people. Do you have to plan for every crossroads when you DM? So did I plan for the possibility that they would try to destroy the soul hole, or is it mostly ad lib? This is difficult because it very much depends on what type of DM you are, and I don't want to say that the people who like really obsessively plan everything and down to like a minute detail and make sure there's contingencies for everything are doing it wrong. But frankly, if I did that for everything I do, I would explode on the spot. I think it is way more important to sharpen your ad-libbing skills. I'm not ad-libbing everything. So for instance, the idea that someone would try to destroy Emery's soul hole, that's kind of like an easy, like, of course they will at some point, right? Like, this is a problem for Emery. It's cool, but like, if you're thinking from the perspective of a real person, real motivations, which is what each of the players at the table are trying to play their characters as, Emery's gonna want this thing gone at some point, or her friends are gonna want it gone because they're concerned, or her family, or like, and so at some point something is going to be happening. It is a point of conflict. You want that point of conflict, but you have to plan for it to be gone. And so I had some ideas as to what it was going to be like, but if I planned in minute detail and they just tried to destroy it in some interesting way that I hadn't thought of because there's just way too many things to think of in a game like this, then I'd be frozen on the spot because I wouldn't be trusting my ability to ad-lib things. You need to be able to think on your feet. You gotta practice. You're seeing me at like 20 years in to being able to just do this. When I was only 5 years in, I couldn't do any of this stuff. There's something weird or interesting would be happening. I would spend 10 minutes looking up the rule in the rule book, which just slows everything down. But you have to kind of go through that to get to the point where you're just like, I know the rule and I know that it doesn't have to apply here. I'm just going to do something, you know?
So you're saying we don't have to follow the rules?
No, never.
You've been
What
following
I'm
the
also
rules?
hearing is that Jay has 25 years of experience being a dungeon master.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, the next time I stream, I have to tell that whole fucking story, okay?
It's
because there's
wild.
more detail.
It's wild, y'all. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
It's also Jay's being somewhat diplomatic, I think, because
Yeah.
what is left unsaid is that if you are the type of DM that tries to go full Batman mode and plan contingencies for everything, what will end up happening is that your players will get fixated on one of the thousands of little details you pass along as a little clue to something in the grander narrative, interpret it wildly incorrectly, and spend 25 minutes trying to cast a spell in order to open what they think is a magic door, but is in fact just a broom
Door.
closet.
And so, yeah, you got to be able to roll with it, because in that situation, that very interesting situation, yes, the person who tried to Batman it would have no answer, and they'd be getting annoyed, and the players can feel that stuff. That's how you get bad games, right? But maybe you go, okay, well, that broom closet wasn't special before, but now my players are really poking at it, and they'd be really disappointed if it just ended up being a broom closet. So either I open it really quickly with really little effort for them and reveal that it's a broom closet and it's a bit and it's very funny for us, or I use this as an opportunity. right? Like Rathgrithr and her sword in this bit here. I could absolutely have said, yeah, you hit it with your sword and nothing happened. But I knew that Rathgrithr's sword was something extra. It was tied to a whole bunch of other things, and it was supposed to react specifically with the crystal. This is as good as any moment to activate that. It didn't matter that it was, I could have maybe waited for another moment, or I could have given the focus to someone else in the scene if they had wanted to. I think Ron mentioned before he left that there was an opportunity for him to try something there, but he was like, yeah, it didn't feel like the right moment. And that happens a lot. As a player and as a DM, you got to go, is this the right moment for this? Is this the right moment? Nah, it's not flowing right. Something is already happening. Someone already has the spotlight. Let them see what they're going to do with it and see what happens. And then, yeah, you have a bunch of things that you want to do. There's a bunch of meta plots tied up in this. If these players decide they want to do something weird, let them do something weird. Tie it back into the meta narrative somehow. You can absolutely do it. It's the funnest part of these games, which is also why the rules don't matter. You can do this in any of these games, any of them.
Fuck your rule. Hit the giant magic crystal with a sword.
I think also, like, had the situation gone down with, it was Rathgrithr's like, I hit it with my sword.
Mm-hmm.
Just, that's all I said. I think, you could leave the door open, like maybe it's just an anticlimax, nothing happens, right? But if your character, if one of your players gives a big speech about how important something is, and then nothing happens, it's like it's less fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like if there had been the vibe of us kind of goofing around and you had made this big speech and then I said you swung your sword and all you hear is a tink and nothing happens, that's fucking funny. But at the same time, it didn't match this moment, It was good. It was good. It was that was the sort of thing you should all take advantage of.
So what you're saying is DMs need to care more about telling a story that is satisfying to everyone involved rather than just being like in control of everything and just having everything be exactly what the DM wants?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Very succinctly put. You should be some sort of essayist, I think.
Wow. That's a great idea. I'll look into that.
Try that out. But yeah, I think we're probably going around in circles at this point. It's just I know so many people who start being DMs, and the first thing they do is they go, okay, I'm not gonna be a good DM if I don't know everything I possibly can, and then they end up wondering why their players are just feeling a little off because their players don't feel like they can come to them because every time something weird happens, they just get visibly annoyed, right? And like, we're only human. Absolutely, if you put that much effort into something and your players go off and do something completely different, that's going to be annoying. But at the same time, you have to realize that you aren't the game. You are helping your players make the game. That's what you're there for. So don't get annoyed if they go off somewhere else. That's an opportunity to do something else, something deeply fun and enjoyable, hopefully. So try it. See what happens. Throw that shit out the window. Doesn't matter. My lovely wife, Rose Capult, is asking this question. What story threads or theories are you most interested in digging into?
Grandmother. Like the Vernon grandmother, but also other grandmother. Are they the same grandmother?
I don't think so, but
wouldn't it be fucked up if they were, though?
Would be. Absolutely would be.
What if they're not the same, but they know of each other and they hate each other and they like are members of the same knitting circle and they just
is there like an evil grandma network?
There's a network of evil grandmothers. We are the society of evil grandmothers.
Wait, because there's the society of evil grandmothers and then there's the children. There could also be like the in-laws cult. Or the nephews cult.
The shitty parents cult.
And they like fix cars and shit. Yeah. Deadbeat dads cult.
And then all the
But
twin
it's not a cult of deadbeat dads. They worship deadbeat dads. I don't know where this is going.
Oh, and so if they worship shitty parents, Tim Tam's parents are in control of it. They all worship.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
We cracked it. Jay,
That's
we
it.
cracked open your lore wide.
That's it. I gotta change my whole story now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, all the crystal stuff is a
what are
red
you lost?
herring.
It's a red herring, yeah. Um,
I can't believe that Jay also wrote Lost.
I also surprise. It was me the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah, it's J.J. Abrams.
I was like
Oh my
16 years old, but
God!
sure.
The J, that's what it stands for.
So there you go. You definitely don't need to plan out your campaigns if
I just
Lost
throw in
is
a
any
bunch-
example.
Throw in a bunch of lens flares and some misdirects that don't go anywhere, and that's it.
Where's the smoke monster?
Give me a second. I gotta find a cigarette. I'll just make one right here on the spot. But so Zoe, you wanna look into grandmother for some reason. Who could say? Because she's a compelling villainess throughout most of my other campaigns. Mildred, I don't know what you're interested in looking into at this point.
As I hinted at somewhat earlier, I think Tim Tam's parents, not so much that I want to know why they did what they did, so much as I want to see them punished.
You want to see the Tim Tam arc?
When you were describing Tim Tam's visions,
mm-hmm.
I was like just fuming silently.
So I do this, man. Being a DM, you have to like put yourself in some really shitty places sometimes. And obviously a lot of folks have problems with their parents. Like,
yeah,
it happens, right? Even the best parents will have something that their kids are not pleased about. But specifically, like, a lot of people enjoy acting out some catharsis with their characters about some parts, right? About parents. And it's easy to do shitty parents that are like, that abandon their kids or hurt their kids or some other, like, those are actually kind of easy to think about because they're like, really what is easiest to say is the worst. But parents who just kind of mildly neglect their kid, treat their kid like property, and to be fair, a lot of parents do this too. I'm not casting regular aspersions, but it is a sort of thing, especially in North American culture, that your kids are sort of like your property. And because you're responsible for them until they're 18, and they're supposed to do what you tell them to do. And it's sort of very easy for some people to kind of slip into the idea that kids are there to do what you tell them to do. And so you just kind of, I needed Tim Tam's parents to be plausibly not bad enough where Tim could look back fondly on some of the things that they did legitimately, and to an outside observer would seem fine. Like they were just kind of eccentric scientists and workaholics,
Yeah,
you know, that's not
they
terrible.
remembered her birthday a couple times.
Right, exactly. But like, I think I really locked in onto what I wanted to do in that first memory where I had Tim's dad, like, just not vocalizing that he wants a tool, just like holding his hand up behind his head while he's still focusing on something else and just snapping his fingers. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I love my parents dearly, but one of my parents used to do that. I'm not saying which one. And it wasn't for very long. They figured it out very quickly. But like that sort of thing paired with what they were, and then I just took it deeper, that's when I locked into that. So yeah.
I am curious, Mildred, what is the, like, so when you say you want them punished, is that going to be like just killing them, or what is like a worse punishment?
Quite honestly, I don't think it's my place to answer that question. I think
okay.
that is for Tim Tam to decide.
We just leave them in the astral. We neglect them back and just leave them in the astral plane.
Stuck in the ethereal plane. Yeah.
I think we should awaken all of the Twin Tams and build a Twin Tam army that then goes after them.
I thought you were gonna say like you were gonna make a Twin Tam tribunal, and then like hold them responsible for their crimes and force them to like be incarcerated in a big Twin Tam like facility that only has your parents.
Perfect.
I think also like there's such perfect villains for Tim Tam because Tim Tam, like, they also created life and love it like to the moon and back, you know, this character that sees the positive in everyone and fundamentally seems to just connect with people and treat them respectfully, to like be the creation of people that do not see, like, she sees her robot dog as a person and they can't see their child as a person. It's
Mhm.
just such a clear dichotomy.
I mean, not to go off on another tangent about this, but this is another big point that I find very important. Your villains don't have to just be obviously shitty people. Your villains have to be tailored to your players, right? So yeah, maybe in the grand scheme of things, maybe Tim Tam's parents aren't like bad people, and generally, like if they see something like deeply wrong
I
with
don't know. They did kill a
society-
bunch of kids.
Disagree.
That's
Yeah.
like
kill a bunch of kids. Listen, I'm like, you never on any circumstance have to hand it to Tim Tam's parents. But what I am saying is like, yeah, so like maybe if there was a big existential threat or there was like some obvious evil going on, yes, Tim Tam's parents would probably fight that. But that doesn't, like, there is more nuance to bad people. There's more nuance to antagonists to a story. You don't even have to have your antagonists be evil. You can have them be legitimately good people that are just opposed to your players' goals, right? It's just, and Tim Tam's parents are probably one of the better examples of that, just because, yes, in addition to them being horrible, they are specifically, just not. They're absolutely the what Tim Tam isn't, in a very specific way. And that specific way, it's based on that life idea that they don't respect new life because they create so much of it. Whereas Tim Tam makes a bunch of it and then respects all of it anyway. And that's it. That was like the simple thesis.
she has enough room in her heart for all of them.
Yeah. And that's the design brief. Find what your players are, their characters at their core, and then make your villains be the opposite of that. That's it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It's a cool exercise, right? And so, like, for instance, Rathgrithr's antagonist is mostly the situation that she's in. It's not even like a person. It's you know, it's Rathgrithr's whole situation is the antagonist of her story right now.
I think initially it would be like her own. She was kind of her own antagonist because she's
For a little bit, yeah.
so desperate to run from her problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so much. Oh no, you can go ahead. Star is still coming back in, I guess. I was gonna ask Star what thread she wanted to get to, but she's not back in yet.
I forget what I was going to say.
Ah, damn. Here, while we're waiting for Star to come back in, question from Locelia Nightmare again. Would Tim Tam's parents use the black hole stone to make more twin Tams if they had a chance to? Just asking because their intentions and boundaries are so kind of a mystery. They would certainly be very interested in studying that stone. And once they found out what it could do, they could probably make a whole bunch of applications for it that they wouldn't look too closely into the ethics of. That's kind of their MO. They would find out very quickly that it can't be used to create anything. That's absolutely not what it does. But yeah, there would be some things going on with that stone, let me tell you.
I don't think we should let them do that.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's a bad idea, actually. Does anyone have questions from the table itself? We've been going over a lot of really fun topics.
Were you prepared to kill at least one, potentially multiple characters today?
I'm always prepared.
Ah!
I'm always prepared to kill a player.
Fear!
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the answer I wanted.
I think I said on more than one occasion that death is a really boring consequence.
Yeah.
I think there was definitely a chance, especially because of just the way the dice roll, just the way the constraints of our game are, that there would have been a situation where the players would have had to choose, and I would have given them the choice if their character died, and furthermore, if they wanted to continue with that character or not, because death isn't the end in a game like this. However, there are certain things that make that impossible with some of the players, and circumstances here were not exactly ideal. And for all you guys know, I just murdered all of you in that tower at the end there.
No, I know that's not the case, and you know how I know?
Yeah.
If you had killed us, you wouldn't have ended right before you did it. you would have said you're all dead, and that's where we're going to leave it for next week.
Oh no,
Yeah.
they're on
We're
to
starting
me.
to see through the tricks. Yeah.
If there were a chance to make the reveal more upsetting that you left on the table, like, no, that's strains credulity.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Star's having too much trouble connecting, so now she's in the chat. Star, if you can hear me, tell the audience what plot line you're interested in following. While we banter a little bit. No, you're right. I would have probably said you're all dead because we would obviously have another episode, and then I'd be able to torture you a little bit more while you're dead. Which is super fun, especially because you would be then in the ethereal plane. Would be interesting in and of itself. But yeah, so I think in those instances, like I said, I wanted this to be the player choice. It could very well have been at some point in there, like Emery goes down and she fails more of her saving throws than her character could allow, and she dies. While this is happening, maybe Zoe and I are having a conversation behind the scenes, and she goes, "I think Tim would die here. I think this is going to kill Tim." And we have a small conversation, and I let that happen in the narrative. We would play that out in story if that was the case and see what happens. And yeah, there's a world where one of these characters dies and they decide to roll another character and keep going with it. You have to be ready as a DM for any of that. But more importantly, you have to be ready for them to go, the dice said my character freaking died, but I don't know, actually. And then as a DM, you can't, this goes back to my bad DMs. I hate bad DMs so much. If your player looks at you and says, my character died, and they're crying and they don't want it to happen, and they say, please, I don't want my character to die. You don't go, I'm sorry, bud, that's what the dice say. You go, okay, you don't die, but there's gonna be consequences. That's the answer. I don't understand. This is a game of pretend. If somebody is devastated their special Blorbo died, keep them alive. It's so easy. You could just say that.
No, have you considered that the rules exist and that this is a game about dice and make number go up?
Yeah, how is that fair to the players that optimized better?
Yeah, have you considered that?
So that's the other thing too. Like I said, I play with tons of players. I absolutely play with players that love to optimize their characters, and they love playing more difficult games where their choices matter and the dice's roles are respected. That's a play style, and it's not a bad play style. It's just a play style. It's just you have to know when you're going into a game what kind of game it's going to be. If you come into a game like What's Left of Us and you go, well, I didn't tell you this really, but at the start of the game we were talking about it, and I like min-maxing, and I'm finding a lot of these things you let the other players get away with very unsatisfying. Then I go, I'm sorry, but I'm not changing my game. Like, it's a little late at this point, so either you back off a little bit and enjoy what the narrative is doing, or we find a way to sunset your character and you just step away. Like, no harm, no foul. It's just not your type of game. No big deal. So yeah, if you find yourself in a game that you're finding unsatisfying for whatever reason, maybe this is not the game for you.
Also, another point that kind of complicates this is we're not just playing a game, we're also putting on a show.
Yeah.
And if we, spent at this point several years investing the audience in these characters and the specific arc that they're on, that the audience can see that they're halfway through, and then in the middle of that story they just dropped fucking dead, and then next week they were playing, a completely different character. Oh, now I'm a paladin who's secretly a vampire. Like,
yeah,
how would they invest in the story again?
Exactly. Yeah.
Which that is also great insurance though, because I know that Tim can never die because everybody loves Tim too much.
That's right.
It would be bad for the brand.
In honor of Star, I would say, yeah, the merchandising opportunities alone. We gotta make sure we understand the merchandising opportunity. But yeah, look at any other actual play out there where a character has died and they have re-rolled a new character. It happens. It doesn't happen often, but for that exact reason, it is hard, almost always, for the audience to really connect with that new character, and it takes a while. So if a death is going to happen and be permanent, it is a story decision for drama. And we move forward with that, because if the audience doesn't get the same sort of closure that the people at the table get, then yeah, they won't just grab on to the next dude that comes along. That's not how it works, you know? Yeah. Oh, Star said, Star didn't say what plot line that she was interested in, but she did wonder if Emery died, if she wouldn't have just gotten schlorped back to the hells. Being in her demon body, perhaps. You won't know until you die. Although, to be fair, you died a couple times in the chew, and you went to the ethereal plane, not the hells. So, who could say? Who could say?
I
Yeah,
mean,
we
you could
still
say
we
that.
still don't know why we kept coming back to life on the Chew,
Yeah.
and none of us have died since. So that's the other kind of.
Again, if you all die and the first thing Rathgrithr hears is, "Ma'am, I'm going to need your weapon," I think I might get a visit in like a couple of hours or so with somebody with a big old skateboard, and I just get whacked in the face. You did too? The two is different. Let's see here. Special blorbos that can't die. I don't think you did, Star. Unless that going back to the hells is the thread you want to follow. Who could say?
Star
But
could say.
Yeah, Star could say.
Star knows.
Yeah. We're coming in on the very end, though. It is getting on 5 o'clock. So anybody in chat have any more questions? Now is the time to ask them. I'm going to give you like a minute to pour in some questions. I'll try to answer as many as I can in the next 5 minutes or so. While we're waiting for that, people on the chair, is there any other questions for you folks? Do you have any burning questions that we brought up while we're doing this here? I was once again very mean to other DMs. I have a very specific upsettedness towards bad game runners.
Yeah, some of them deserve it, I'm sure.
Some of them, I assume, are good people.
I assume. Literally the message right before the health question, I did not see it. There's nothing there. Sadness. The video software stopped working is the question before the health question. That's unfortunate, Star.
That's what she wants to investigate.
Yeah, why did that happen?
Why? Emery has to go and see how the VDO software didn't work out. But yeah, that's a particular bee in my bonnet. I really don't like bad game runners. It deeply bothers me. I think storytelling is a very important part of our culture in general, as people, as humans, like connecting to each other. And people who take advantage of that and do it very poorly. No problem with making mistakes. You need to make mistakes to get better. But if you've been doing it for a long time and you still haven't gotten better at it, and you keep making unfortunate decisions that make people at your table unsafe and unsettled and uncomfortable, and get better, man. Like,
or choose a different hobby.
Choose a different hobby, yeah.
Why you want to? You don't seem to enjoy this. Why are you doing this?
Yeah. Star, I'm viewing my OBS mixed chat, so I would see everything. I don't know what's up. Just send it to me via Discord and I'll read it off. Question, how is your day? My day is nice. We were going to have a whole bunch of like really big ice storms, and they are not manifesting, which is making me happy, because we lost power like 2 days ago already for the first ice storm, and then we were like, we are gonna absolutely get more ice storms, the kind of which the ice storm of '98 would laugh at. And I was like, okay, well, I don't like that. So, question for Day: as a DM, have you ever hit a wall with how the story of a game is going? Yeah. It hasn't happened in a while because I started trusting my skills of ad-libbing. But yeah, absolutely, I've hit a wall. And sometimes that's because when I was saying that, hey, sometimes your players just don't fit. Like, as a player, you might notice that you're not really fitting with the vibe of the table or anything like that, and maybe it's best to just peace out. You tried, and you should go somewhere else. That can happen to a DM too. Like, the DM is a player in addition to anything else. And if you're running a game and the rest of your table is on one page and you're on another, dude, either you go, okay, well, I can't DM this particular game because it's not satisfying for me or for any of you guys, and that's causing a problem. So maybe we should rethink this. You just gotta be honest. And I know that those are hard conversations to have because half the times people are very anxious about it and they go, oh, well, we didn't mean to be mean, or hey, you're doing a good job actually, and you go, no, that's not it. Like, really honestly, don't be upset about the idea of it. Just be like, okay, well, that's a little disappointing, but what would really suck is getting bitter about playing this big long campaign where you're trying to force it the whole time. Like, that sucks. I can't think of anything more uncomfortable. Oh, yeah. Star says she wants to also beat up Tintin's parents and beat up the cult and learn more about the Purple Crystal for no reason in particular. Certainly not because her other tiefling character is a big chunk of Purple Crystal. So, who could say? Moving
When do
is
we get
hell.
to meet Steven Universe?
Yeah, Steven Universe. Surprise! I just doing medieval Steven Universe. Fine. Everyone, please be kind to Star. Give her all of the pats on the head for being in a horrible situation where you had to move 2 days before your big streamed game, and so don't have internet. Like, okay, folks. I think unless there's any more questions, that should about do it. I believe. I think so. Let them meet Steven Universe. Listen, I love Steven Universe. It's a comfort show for me. But I don't think it's gonna happen unless I get Rebecca Sugar on here. Rebecca, you know how to find me. Let's start going around the table and selling the kind folks where you can see each other, where you can find each other. Let's start with Zoe. Zoe, what you got going on?
Yeah, I'm Zoe B. You can find me on YouTube at Zoe B. I make video essays about about what? Stuff. Language, etc. And that's it. That's the only place that I am. So just look me up, Zoe B, like the insect, and that's me.
Mildred.
I am the Thought Slime. You can find me at youtube.com/@thoughtslime. Therein, I make video essays that are so typical they defy description. The type you would see on any other channel, I think I would describe it as.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We already did Ron, but you can of course find Ron's stuff wherever Ron's stuff are sold. Basically, right now it's just a little guy. If you look on YouTube, type in just a little guy, Lil, L-I-L, little guy. You'll find his podcast about making monsters and has a bunch of stuff right now, which is very cool. And you should absolutely check that out because at some point I believe he's going to be coming off of hiatus and doing more episodes. He was really looking forward to that. And on top of that, we have Star, who is not here to stop me from doing the Kermit voice. And so I really should, but you know what? She's had a very difficult couple of days. So
but moments ago, you said, let's be kind to Star.
Let's be kind to Star. And I should remember that because I have 25 years experience being kind to Star, which is a wonderful joke that you'll all get soon. The I am so pleased with myself. You can find Star mostly on her YouTube page, youtube.com/at the Starfish Face, and the Starfish Face, etc. for her gaming channel, and she's got her comic, castoffs comic.com. It's castoff comic, right?
Yes, cast off singular.
Yeah, hyphen.
Yeah, it sounded
Oh.
like you said cast offs, which is it
Cast-offs.
is not. Yes.
I mean, there
it's
are
singular.
several cast-offs in her comic, but I'm getting into the weeds, I believe.
Make sure to make it more confusing for the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in addition to any of that, she's got a book. She just did a book. She did a book. It's how to do a web how to make webcomic version 2. And she also just put out, she just published, like even more recently, the first part of her webcomic in physical form. Goodness, goodness, right? Look how pretty it is. And her sweet boy Vetter was made into a plushie, a marketable plushie, by Makeshift. Goodness, so many things, everybody. Yeah, Star is going to suplex me the next time she sees me because I'm at it feeling. Yeah, those are her links. And of course, you have found me, the Jaycorn. I have nothing going on, absolutely nothing going on. Just this. You have found me where I am. This YouTube page, this Steam page, or Twitch page. Pardon me. Congratulations. I only do this, and I run. I'm a professional game runner. You can find me on startplaying.com. No, startplaying.game. Startplaying.game.
We're not letting you do this anymore.
I'm bad. I'm real bad. See, this is why I make you guys do your own, because I'm real bad at it. But regardless, I
so
need
that
a
we don't have to
publicist.
register more URLs.
Yeah, very much. Speaking of stream of URLs in people's faces, bad. I don't have my own link. That's funny. Regardless, that's what we're doing. In addition to that, of course, there are 2 mods. Sam, front is my bio, and Slyfox, and they are creators in their own right. Please go and see their stuff. They deserve your support and thanks. I think that's it. I think I'm done being painfully awkward with giving out information about where we can give us your money. Congratulations, everybody. We will see you all. When is the next episode? Hold on. In April.
It's the last Friday of next month.
It is. It's the last Friday of every month. It's April 25th.
Ooh.
25th. So mark your calendars. Be there or be square. Tell your family. Kidnap the nearest person outside and tie them to a chair and make them sit there and watch it. You have until the 25th. Congratulations. The FBI is watching this. Just don't.
Who kidnapped the FBI?
Right? Oh no! Wait, I just came back into the chat.
It's like he never listened to any shilling I ever did ever. Castoff-comic.com, asshole.
I said castoff-comic.com.
I literally say it dozens of times. You said castoffs-comic.com. Are we still live?
It was definitely plural.
We are totally still live. Hi,
And it looks
everybody.
like somebody bought that URL and redirected it to the Henson workshop.
Oh, that's...
I will commit... Listen, I was so glad that Jay didn't bring that up, because he's right. I have had a bad couple of days because moving sucks and my house has a leak and everything's so normal and cool and fine. I had to run to Home Depot right before the stream and get a fucking floor fan so I can dry out my laminate, because that's a fucking thing that happened because of my fucking stupid ass movers who I hate, but they have 25 years of experience, so they totally know how to hook up a washing machine.
Anyway.
I'm glad you're back, Star. Do you want to
Yes,
say goodbye?
Emery wants to beat up. Sure. You can find me at castoff-comic.com, where we just came back from hiatus last night, posted the first page of the 13th chapter. It's going to be a doozy. Real excited about it. Got the first volume of Cast Off up. They won't ship for a couple more weeks just because I'm still in the process of moving hell, which is very fun. I also have a book where if you want to make your own comics, I have a book called How to Webcomic. Teaches you how to do all that shit. It's very fun, very good. But yes, also I have a YouTube channel at the Starfish Face where I yap for money.
I feel like I got most of those.
At some point in the next couple of weeks, so I didn't have video today. Oh, here, you know what? I will give you guys a treat for staying through all of my nightmarish bullshit. If I can read my camera, then I can show you guys the cat once again, because there she is.
Oh, hold on. We're about to get Cat. We're about to get Milo at the end of the episode.
It's
on.
Milo hours.
We do not see it, but there she is. Well, we are seeing
There she
the
is. Yes,
spotted one.
butt.
Milo butt.
Milo.
Guys,
There she
no
is. There's a
other
kitten
actual
there.
play does this.
I wonder if there's a reason for that.
Just cat.
There is
It's
Sure.
because you can't even.
surely no other
doesn't-
reason.
Nightmare. Yes, he is. Milo, are you a
Wow.
nightmare demon? Yes. Yes, my mom also. Yeah, I guess that's my shit. I'm gonna have a new VTuber by the time we do the next stream, though. So that's a fun thing that's happening.
And hopefully a modem as well.
Yeah, hopefully a modem. Yeah.
Okay, well, no. So the thing is, like, I just moved into the new house, but the new house doesn't have internet yet.
That's
It's not
true.
getting hooked up till Monday, but
Mhm.
this bitch getting fiber, so
Yes,
I should be coming to you
mm.
guys from the highest
Fancy.
imaginable.
Yeah,
Speaking of
you know,
poop so good.
Yeah, I ate all my
considering
teeth.
that this episode was done on the cellular network, it actually didn't go that badly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I think, folks, that is absolutely all the time we have for today. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you all next month, April 25th. Don't miss it. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.